Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking. Guard. Police.
We could talk about Sibby new job as a bartender.
Police. Help.
There's no helping you now. The meat has been served.
Wow. The meat has been served.
Nigga, this Arby's? What's going on?
Yo, man, I can explain.
Man, you always trying to explain something, man. Look very suspect for you out here, man. You always gotta explain something. That shit is crazy. You a grown ass man, why you gotta explain everything? Where's the clarity at?
Once you become a grown man, you're not supposed to explain nothing. That's
You
crazy.
ain't supposed to explain a thing. Where the clarity at, nigga? You supposed to stand on your 2 feet. 10 toes down.
I bet I'm stand 10 goes down. The meat being served. Really?
That's crazy, but at least you stood on it.
He said the meat's still being served. I'm gonna need to call the guard to come in. Can you please come in and help me, guard?
Guard can get a plate too.
Oh shit! Booty mom pouring that air.
Yeah, I was just. I'm watching. I've been preaching.
I was watching that with my boy Carlton not too long ago. I was watching with him. So. I didn't know that nigga was based off a real nigga though. I didn't know that.
Yes, that shit was horrific.
He said, you could do this the easy way or the hard way. But I want you, I like you, I'm gonna get you. I said, yo, I gotta go.
Yeah, you gotta shoot a nigga like that, man.
Big danger.
I'm surprised. Surprised he lived that long. Oh, that shank that nigga off real.
Hey man, when you're the way of the booty, the way that they are, you're just too powerful.
I know something more powerful. It's called death. Either me or him. Number two.
Rap in the beginning, smoke a little pack, but the pack never seen it, man. Getting beat up by 2 brolic bricked up niggas. That's how we're starting. Nah. You gonna talk about him? And I about to be the life coach now. I'm gonna try. I'm just trying to speak some sense to some people. He said bricked up. He said concrete. He said he got his hockey up on the meat that East is serving. Oh man,
You are 1 plate or 2. Oh my god, help me.
you won one head or both heads. All right, let's do this. First of all, how's everyone doing, man? How y'all doing? How was Arise?
It was good. Like, it wasn't perfect. It's not my favorite in the series, nor is it reaching like the upper echelons, but it was still a really good return to form, because the gameplay was a lot of fun. It just things turned very Mickey Mouse at the end, but other than that, yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. A good, decent length. It has 63 hours, I believe. Good graphic, good combat system. Yeah, I'm out fun. That was a good game. I'm happy to say the series sold 1 million within a week. I'm happy that Tails bang, man. It's good for Bamco.
There you go.
As far as me,
you needed this. I like when games power my friend.
I was there at the end of the journey. It was great streaming with Simi on his channel. Yeah. Support the Patreon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Red Mystery Woman Supremacy.
His only fans he be playing, he be gaming in his apron. You know what I'm saying? Naked apron. Go stupid, dumb. Our RBA gang. Ryan, you're the reason that I know about Lawrence and everything because you were tweeting it, and then I saw Himu. And I said, hold on, I'm tweaking, and then it was over. She was going crazy. Yeah, it is getting cooler outside. It's not too hot anymore. I mean, actually, it's kind of hot today, but okay. Let's do this. So I was in the spaces, maybe 3 days ago now? The first spaces that I was really, really in, and I think Jay was hosting it, and Jay was talking about a story that I literally had just seen a tweet for, like maybe an hour before. and it had something to do with I don't know the entire specifics. If somebody has that link, they can send it to me. I have the other thing open with the other girl. What's her name? Alani, something like that. But yeah. So basically, I think the guy was either seeing her and dating her, but I don't know if they were official or whatnot, from my understanding. And apparently, they went to a party, and at said party, she got spit roasted by 2 niggas upstairs, and then he went up there and got his ass beat because he was salty about the situation.
Wow.
I suppose.
What? I know he got his ass beat.
Yeah, cause my understanding, if someone correct me if I'm wrong, I'm gonna frame this properly. And what's up, Mikey? My understanding was that he was texting his friend. I think he was probably had a couple of drinks, and then he was texting one of his friends like, "Yo, she went upstairs with 2 guys. Even though I brought her, yada yada." And his friend basically was like, "Yo, it is what it is." He said, "I'm her ride." Then a lot of people made some jokes like, "Not no more, nigga. She got a better ride." But she riding something better. But basically, he was trying to get his friend to come with him to go upstairs and fight them for some reason. And well, like Ryan said, he got beat up by niggas who were bricked up.
I'm trying to understand. Hold on, how you lose to 2 niggas when they meet out? So they meet it. So like, do you understand how uncomfortable it is to move?
You think I should hit him once or twice?
Once or twice, that shit was all brushing up against the leg and all. My thing is this,
What's
right?
up, Abdel?
You are very labored when you fully bricked up. How this nigga didn't just hit a one quick low kick to one meat, hit the fucking axe kick to the next meat?
Because niggas be trying to box, bro. They don't be thinking about shit like that. They be trying to box. Like that's something you and me would do.
Son, listen. If I fight 2 niggas when they beat out, first thing I'll be on my fucking Takamura gimmick. I'm grabbing one, next one.
Hey man, that's a weak point.
Exactly. Next one getting the freaking knee. What are you like? How you lose to 2 niggas? You know what? I'm sorry. I'm derailing the fucking street. Please continue.
Ryan was kind enough to post it in the chat, so I'm gonna pull it up here so y'all can see this shit. It was kind of crazy, but this is life. The point of this stream is because like a lot of guys were DMing me or saying like they're fucking scared of like anything. But anyways. My friend went to a party with a girl. He's been talking to her for a while, and apparently she just took 2 dudes upstairs to run a train on her, and he's losing it. So here's like the text here. It said, "Bro, all you're doing is fucking laughing." And I guess this is the guy who's at the party. So he's saying, "Bro, all you're doing is fucking laughing." The other guy said, "Aight, it was sad at first, but nigga, you're making it ridiculous. I'm sorry your date left you. But what are you at?" Wait, hold on. Sorry, I can't. My screen is fucked. What does it say? "I'm sorry." Damn it, I can't even see. My screen is fucked. I gotta zoom in. It didn't work. The zoom in didn't work. "I'm sorry you're left me behind. What do you ask me to do? I need you to come up here." They can't just do this. They can't just do this.
No, I see the screenshots. That's making me cry. I didn't know he got his ass beat though. Yeah. I knew the story.
I didn't know either until I went to the spaces. You know I'm in quarantine. I can't go anywhere. What the hell do you need me for? A ride? You for real? 2 niggas just came and talked to the girl I came to the party with, and she took them both upstairs. I'm more positive they're piping her shit. I need you to come up there so we can handle it together. Fuck you, mean, and her. He's like, his friend's like, "Bro, take your L. Take your L. We're gonna talk about the importance of just taking an L and moving on with your day, even though it hurts." We're gonna talk about that because it's very important. Because a lot of people are not taking L's and rejections very well on both sides. I went to the room. They all went in. They beating her shit down, bro. She probably not even thinking about me. Why would you go up there, dog? I've never seen this side of you. You want to hold her hand while they busting her shit, bro? Just leave the party or go talk to someone else. Come up here before I air this party out. You don't own a gun. His friend barred him up. "Bro, what do you mean when he said we gotta handle her too? I'm crying. Women shouldn't be allowed to do that? It's a done deal, bro. Just leave the party. I can't. Why? I'm her ride. Nigga, she used you for a ride. Leave the damn party." So that was that. I think there was a couple of follow-ups, but I'm not necessarily interested in this. Let me just see what the chat's saying real quick. That man must have gotten a redo healer treatment. Redo up healer treatment. Dick slap out. Going skiing. They ain't trying more Thai. If numbers aren't with me, I'm not fighting fair. What's up? What's up, Ray? All's fair in love and war. I'm ripping the meat off. Damn. I'm not fighting up for a bitch like that to begin with, but I definitely couldn't go out like that. He is sick. I want to be in that situation. I'd leave at that point. Gotta charge it up to the game.
All right. Oh, by the way, real quick, like all jokes aside, though, I'm not gonna lie. The person who posted this, that's fucked up, bro. That's supposed to be your quote unquote friend. Nah, man, that shit
Well,
not
it
cool.
kept, from my understanding, it's anonymous. Not like anyone knows, right? I don't know though. I couldn't. Well,
Nah, but that's not
somebody
that's
knows
not
though,
that's
right?
not the
Somebody,
that's
someone's
not
gonna
the
know. Someone's gonna know.
no, but that's not the point though. That's not the point though.
You
Not
know, you know
posting
what, you know what
posting
era
my
we live
friend
in. You
going
want,
through that.
you know, it's just social media era, man. This is what it is.
I know. It's about you. You posted your friend for. I mean, I said that on TL too, so not even like I'm
Mm-hmm.
capping for it. It's like posting your friend for retweets and likes and shit like that. That's lame to me. That's just me.
Always
But
has been.
Yeah.
the nigga handling the situation, he's still a weenie hut junior for this. He should have just left.
Yeah.
But
So the important lesson here is, listen, man. I want everyone to understand something, because I want to be I want to be as honest and transparent as I can be without incriminating anybody. Like, people have a perception of me, but bro, I've taken 100,000 L's in the course of my life. Trust me. Okay, I'm not out here winning every game. Sometimes this shit happens to the best of us. No matter what type of dude you are, what type of money you have, what type of value you've built, this happens to everybody. These things happen. You need to learn how to deal with these things properly. Bro, going up there to fight them was literally the stupidest thing you can think of. It's already done. You're not even.
yeah,
It's not even.
what's the point?
Hold on. It's not even your girlfriend. Okay, you get someone you're just seeing. She's not yours. Now, I say this a lot, and I mean this when I say this, but I'm gonna frame it. I'm gonna frame it a little. I'm gonna go more into detail later, but I'm truly a believer of it's just your turn. Now, you can get the first turn, the last turn, the longest turn, or multiple turns, or whatever. An amalgamation of some or all of them. But it's just your turn, bro. You have to understand that to a certain degree. So, what he should have done, or what I would have done, is wow. And I'm leaving the party and I'm going home. Am I going to be upset? Of course. My ego is hurt, and I'm probably feeling a type of way. Shit, nigga, I might cry. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna deal with that, and then I'm just gonna keep moving. You can't let that ruin your confidence. You can't let that keep you down for too long. You have to chalk it up to the game and keep it moving. My problem with a lot of times when people get into these type of situations too is they're dealing with somebody who's not reciprocating any type of interest. I will hear men and women speak about men ain't shit, bitches ain't shit, this and that and the other. But the common denominator that I find is the person that you're speaking with has enough interest in you to fuck you, but not to stay with you long term. People constantly conflate short term interest with long term interest, and this is coming from somebody who used to make that mistake. Girls would like to have fun with me in the short term, but they never really see me as a long term investment. And I used to think, oh yeah, she likes me, she thinks I'm cute, yada yada. Boom, I got her. Maybe she'll date me. No, it doesn't work that way. You need to be able to differentiate the two and understand what type of personal ambience you're putting out there. If you're kind of putting out like the type of like, quote unquote energy that you're kind of promiscuous and yada yada, that's probably the type of person you're gonna constantly run across. And Jay put this tweet out. I like the tweet that he put out. I'm gonna read it, and we're gonna talk about it. But he said, "Nah, it's seriously exhausting having to assume that the person you're talking to or invested in is messing with other people and sleeping around. So you have to protect yourself by doing the same. Why can't we just focus at one person at a time? The dating game is tough. Cry me a fucking river, bro. That's what it is. Accept it. Don't hide from it. Don't run from it. There's no reason to be upset. There's no reason to cry, get depressed. What you need to do is take all the information that you have and can gather and work with it. Anyone want to chime in before I keep going?
Nah.
Okay. So the next thing I'm going to show is, so I should read the comics real quick. Shit stupid, most deaf, can't figure it out, most deaf, speak the gospel. The world of dating is such an unforgivable jungle. I will not be surprised if a guy's honest and sad and never go on dates again. That's the thing that I'm trying to avoid to some degree. I don't know if you guys have heard, like there's tons of different splinter cells, and Nick's, am I right? Have to fucking respect for yourself. Yeah, he lost his mind. The thing that what was I saying? It's unforgivable. Yeah, the thing I was gonna say about it, like, you know what? There's guys called MGTOW, and they're like men going their own way. A lot of guys get very discouraged and isolated and reject kind of society and dating because of the way how foul the game is. You have to understand that this isn't the 1960s anymore, and women don't need you for survival. They just don't need it. You have to accept that. Back in the day, they needed a man for provision and security, but the times have changed in modern times. And actually, a lot of women are earning at earlier ages at the very least, like early 20s, are earning more money than guys. You have to accept that. They don't need you for anything. They might want you for something, but they don't need you. You have to be okay with that. Anybody want to chime in?
No.
Okay. Now, I had something written down. The old girl Ray Lars is a dirty first part, but he bounced back. Yo, Lars, yeah, you know what? This is a good picture too because Lars has baby mama trouble, so that's true. I was just signed at 18 without experiencing anything. I kind of realized in my own way, Abdel, that I retreated and isolated a lot from society too, and part of that was because I felt it felt wrong for me to be quote unquote traditionally masculine for a long time before I got over that. Guys just need to learn how to shit test girls and always do things for themselves first. We're going to talk about that in a second. Vetting and having some standards, self-respect, and boundaries. Because as much as women have become entitled, men have become weak as far as I'm concerned. So we're going to get into all that. Now I'm going to pull up this Aloni stuff because this is the thing that I think is going to hurt, man. It's going to hurt. But you need to accept this. And I'm going to talk about why it shouldn't necessarily just scare you off entirely. But I know what world we live in. So this tweet here says, ladies and ladies only, I want you to DM me the craziest story of what truly happened when you text him apologizing for falling asleep. Were you on a date? Were you with a person you told your partner to worry about? Cheating or sleeping with someone else? DM me. Very, very excited about this, right? You have to understand that this has become a cool thing to do. It's not... Back in the day, even though cheating and stuff like this, infidelity and stuff like this happened very often, it wasn't... It was demon. I would say it was. Would you guys agree? It was stigmatized at the very least. Like it was bad to do it, whether you were a man or a woman. Like cheating is bad. Would you guys agree with that back in the day?
Yeah. Now it's champion.
But now it's cool. It's a cool thing to do. Like I'm so fucking toxic. Being dysfunctional has become cool. It's become hip. You know, even people who get fucked over. Some people are online and their entire persona is about being down bad. You see what I'm saying? Like, people are trying to make these things quote unquote trendy. So you have to understand that. So these are probably the type of women, if you're heterosexual male or whatever, that you do not want to be chasing. But some of these stories are really crazy. Like, I'm gonna go into her media, talking about, you know, I'm keeping anonymous. My husband wasn't treating me well. He was rude and condescending. Condescending. Walking around with the energy of a 6'2" handsome man, which none of which he was, so starting to give me the ick. I met a guy at a wedding, such a beautiful man. I felt butterflies in my coochie, she said. There was a lot of chemistry. One thing led to another, and he was eating me out in the car. I told him to take a video and keep my wedding ring on. I went home thinking about him, and then the story goes on. Now, a lot of these stories are probably cap, embellished, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. A lot of them are trying to fit in, be cool, and be like, haha, I'm finessing men, right? But I want you guys to understand that this is actually pretty common. A lot of this stuff, where it's like, I'll talk to a guy like, yo, you know, she's a good girl. I see her at the library. Like, why do you think because she's in the library, she's not doing other things? It doesn't matter what kind of woman you perceive her as. You have to properly vet them if it's serious. Oh, I forgot to say this too. This is a point I have to make. If you are in the dating game and all you want is sexual access, I would argue that you're fine. It's not really that hard. If you can kind of keep your heart kind of hardened and not really fall into anybody too hard, you'll be okay. You can just kind of have fun and keep it moving. Have fun, keep it moving. For anybody who is looking for a long-term committed monogamous relationship, anything serious with a lot of loyalty, I understand. I would argue that my biggest problem is that I can't really get that, and the very few times that I'm ready to commit to somebody, there's something that's really in the way. I'm a little unlucky, but that's not absolving myself of the fact that I spent a lot of time in the dating minefield without really practicing the skills and working on things that would make me worth it as a long-term partner, and I have to accept that on my own. I feel like I've been talking for so long. You guys want to?
I mean, you have been.
Yeah.
And you gonna continue.
What's up, man?
What's up?
Yeah, man. This shit was wild, man. Like, so I guess I'm gonna close this now. I'm not gonna go through all these stories. You guys see it here. It's you know, her name is Oloni Aloni. So
I have her blocked. She has me blocked as well.
Okay, I had her muted for sure. Now I say that's common, and now I saw a lot of guys be like, "This is depressing. Dating is cooked. This and that and the other." And I understand why you could think that, But I'm not gonna call this hope and optimism, but here's how I see it. The game is rigged. Okay, it's not in your favor. The game is rigged. It's really unfair. But if you have all the possible information you can have, you can either play the game, you can try to cheat the game, or you can choose not to turn the console on at all. I think these are all important things. I'm gonna speak from personal experience. I have seen a lot of distrust, betrayal, infidelity, cheating, lying, yada yada yada. Like when I saw these things, I promise you I didn't bat an eye because it's very common in my life. I see a lot of tricking, a lot of fucked up shit, a lot of I said I wasn't pregnant, but it was his kid. I poked a hole in the I've seen so much stuff you wouldn't believe growing up, and that's given me my own set of trust issues, and I understand it's something I have to work on, because I would argue why a lot of guys are more on the one side of the spectrum where they kind of see women in this like halo, this angelic light. I'm like, all of them are demons, and I need to work on that and find a middle ground where it's like, no, I'm on the other side of the spectrum. The reason why I always say that is because I've been on both sides of the coin. When I'm telling you I'm like 19, 20, all I am is soccer, soccer and chasing skirts. I'm not shit. And these women have good men at home or are in good long-term relationships, but they're messing with me. And that kind of fucks with you to some degree in your psyche moving forward. But as a result of being on that side where they were constantly cheating with someone like me, and I won't lie to you, I had a home wrecking phase where I definitely enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong, like I enjoyed being toxic at one point in my life. Yeah, as a result of that, I never saw them as angels because I knew what they were capable of. I see men and women as they're capable of greatness, capable of being awful, or somewhere in the middle. I don't really differentiate. Anybody's capable of anything for the most part. Who just hopped in?
Be me.
What's up? What's up, Griever?
Nothing. I was listening in, and I thought you were talking about some pretty cool shit. So I thought I'd listen in, like, more properly.
No, go ahead, man. Of course. All right, hold on. We're entering the eclipse now. It was wild. Game needs. People aren't really demonized much for cheating anymore compared to decades ago. Then perhaps to contribute to getting so bad. You got to be the finesser, especially women, and some outspoken take pride in it. Yeah, they take pride in it because feminism. This current wave of feminism is kind of encouraging this behavior, where it's like be very promiscuous, literally telling you to cheat on men and treat them the way that they perceive that they're being treated by women. Which I kind of find funny because like they're not oppressed. My biggest
it's an overcorrectness.
Yes, that's exactly. Vince says all the time. It's been an overcorrection. That's really what happened. I actually don't think the first two waves of feminism were a bad thing. I do think men were out of control. Honestly, I do. Mm-hmm. However, now, do you think from what you've seen in terms of quote unquote feminism, does that look like equality to you, or does that look like fighting for power and leverage?
It's definitely.
I can't call a fat bitch fat.
Yeah, no, exactly. There's too many. There's too many phobias. There's too many. You can't just call someone what they are. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like unless you use a really generic insult, like you're not allowed to call a bitch anymore, because that's derogatory towards women. I'm like, I call a man who fucking beats a woman a bitch too. It's not a gender exclusive word here, but like there's so many. Yeah, I do agree. There's been a huge wave of overcorrectness in the last like 5 years plus, and I agreed. Like what you were saying, Naya, like the first few waves of feminism, especially the women's right movement, only like 45 years ago, that was a big step. And now, like, they've been fighting so long, it feels like they finally got a victory. And there are a lot of women that don't agree with the new direction that happened.
That is very true. That's true. And yeah. It kind of shocked me to some degree. Why can't I drag this guy up here?
I feel like that often happens when you have oppression, or you kept down for so long, you have to clap back so hard, and then you start losing yourself when you get a little bit of power, and that power takes over. In a lot of cases, like you said, not like me and you are the same mindset. It's like it's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, not guilty and proven innocent.
Yes. And
they have these little ways of keeping and maintaining their power, and they use it any way they can, and they'll get over it any way they can. Just like that Britney bitch that got that basketball player, that young nigga. She was literally on fucking IG talking about how, oh yeah, I do this. I get basketball players and young niggas, and I get pregnant, and I keep them trapped. Guess what? She was on Instagram with the videos still up, said this shit, and the judge still said, "All right, you gotta pay her because you the breadwinner. You gotta pay her." All that bitch toxically just openly said, "I'm playing this nigga to get his money just so I can have a kid."
Well,
and
look
it awards the chick the bill for this. Like, really?
And my biggest problem with that kind of stuff is it's very funny because it gets I think this is my problem with society in a sense too, but like that what's her name, Brittany Rayner, right? Like her,
Yeah.
and PJ Washington, right? I
Yeah.
remember the story because he was like at college and she was already kind of like scoping him out, and then she basically finessed him, got the baby, got the child support. My problem with this is people are like free PJ, and then some women are like, yeah, finesse them, blah blah yada yada. What about the fucking child? This is my goddamn problem. It's the fucking child that's the victim. Fuck PJ. He's an idiot for doing what he did. I don't care. He's an idiot for doing what he did because she literally said athletes are dumb. They don't wear condoms. You want to get a check off a man? Fuck an athlete. She has that's out there. So you're stupid for doing that, and she needs therapy. My problem is this child is gonna be the one that suffers from this shit. And why is no one talking about the kid? The kid is the one that suffers when people are fucking doing all this stupid shit. Oh, I'm gonna keep him from you, or I'm child support, yada yada. It's the child, the children, the next generation that loses. Do you not already see how many people are coming up fucked up right now with mental health issues, anxiety, depression, all kinds of shit? You're not helping. This is not helping the problem.
And then the people you're supposed to look up to are your parents, the most inspirational people in your earliest stages of life. That's what you got to look at. Them two being toxic to each other. Then what the fuck you gonna think you gonna aspire to be if that's your role models growing up?
There are so many, like, I'm sure we all know in this entire chat, we all know people in our lives, even if they're your friend, even if they're your best friend or whatever, you know they shouldn't be parents. You know they shouldn't be teaching a child.
I absolutely agree with you.
I know so many. I would argue that over half the people I know should not be parents. I might like them as a person, doesn't mean they're a good parent. You know what I mean? So
it's just literally it's just so messed up and so skewed because like they're thinking about coming up a check and this and that and yada yada, and it's like there's nobody care about this. But you know what? I realized this over the course of a couple of months. Children are constantly being weaponized to push causes and stuff like that. They're being weaponized.
That's a great adjective.
And I don't like
that. They're weaponized.
Yeah, they weaponize children a lot. The LGBT weaponizes children, all kinds of weaponize children. I've seen parents who just, you can't stop using kids for this type of thing, man. You're messing them up. You are messing them up.
How many times have you read a story that you're anti-LGBT or you're homophobic or something because you don't agree that an 8-year-old shouldn't go through a sex change? It's like, they're an 8-year-old. Leave them alone.
They're giving them hormone blockers and what's the
other
thing?
That shit should be illegal.
It's
insane. And actually, I can speak on this because I did research for this for personal reasons. So, and in that case too, it's even fully grown men that transition to women that actually regret after having a session, and they're fully grown men. They regret doing that, and then they try to some of them can change back, or some of them can't. Most of them can't, but it's like, okay, I've already kind of just did this whole thing, but I kind of regret transforming to a woman. So it's like, so if a fully grown adult with a fully processed brain has a regret for that, how do you think a 10-year-old, which has 15 more years of growing mentally and all the experience I have, how you and developing their brain, how much you think? I understand adhering to it and supporting lifestyle, but all right, there's science and effects and there's a lot of things that go into it too. Now you have to say oh, you don't support it, but it's there's ways of doing things.
Listen, you get a little girl raised by 2 lesbian parents. Good lesbian parents will not teach their kid that they have to be a lesbian.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can have some of the best parents in the world be lesbians and you can be straight. That's okay. But it seems like the progression that Naya, you were talking about before, the progression has become this overcorrectness that is sort of well, we need to keep pushing the envelope. There's all these zealots and all these rioters in every group of
people on both sides of the spectrum.
Radical people that they're well, we're part of an LGBT, so our kids have to be, our friends have to be, everybody has to be.
And if you don't support any one thing that I say, you're obviously against it. So that's just kind of the world that we live in. Obviously, we know that's foolish and very nonsensical, but it is what it is. If you're Yeah, if you're straight, you're villain now. You're fully developed. Yeah, I mean, they have kids doing all kinds of stuff, man. It's really crazy. Like, I'll never forget, I've seen that video where they were talking up to the, like a 5-year-old, like a 7-year-old, a 10-year-old about polyamory, about multiple sexual partners. You don't need to be talking about that to a 5-year-old. What the fuck is going on? And I'm gonna give that 5-year-old credit because she barred her up. She like, let's think about it like this. If you like chocolate, right? I'm like, yeah. It's like you can have 5 chocolates instead of 1. And she's like, I'll get a tummy ache. I said, hold on.
That was the best.
I said bars. I said bars.
That's a fantastic response. But you know what? You feel bad for that kid because they just pushed an issue on them. I mean, I'm going to admit right now, maybe this was late bloomer of me, but I was growing up in the 90s and I was sort of sheltered in the sense that like I didn't know what virgin meant until I was like 10. I didn't know what fucking being like, like being green meant and stuff. Like these are really old terms nowadays, but like I didn't know that shit when they're like, "Hey, are you green?" That meant you didn't French kiss the girl yet. I didn't know that. I was 10 years old. So but now it's like, oh no, we have to teach people like I had no idea at that age. I remember what I was like in 10. I was into Pokemon cards. I had no interest in knowing what the LGBT was up to. You know?
Yeah.
So why are we pushing this issue on our children?
And look, you're a perfectly fine human being when you learned later. So
yeah,
I don't know why there's the rush. Shit. And it's always by people that aren't parents or probably never will be parents pushing this shit too. It's like, relax.
It's really insane. But and I know like with the advent of technology, it's easier to be exposed to so many things. And this is why I'm like, the stuff that we just are promoting and championing, and you're just trying to be like, yeah, no, kid, it's fine. It's like, what do you mean kids should go to Pride and learn about kink? Like, this is the type of stuff that I can't get behind. But they always want to control people just to.
But even if you could, Nia, would you take your 4-year-old or 5-year-old daughter or son to that shit? No, you don't do that. Listen, one of the best things my father, I'll tell you right now, before any of this shit happened, I would always ask my dad, because this was a question brought up in school well before all this stuff, was, what religion are you? Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't go to church, so I didn't know what my religion was. And they would put it up on the blackboard. It would be like, okay, where do you live? What's this? You're the student of the week or whatever. I didn't know what my denomination was because my father would never tell me. And one day I finally asked him, I was like 9 or 10, maybe 11. And he said, you're nothing, but if you have to give an answer, just say you're Protestant. And that was his thing. He did not want to talk or force religion on his children because he goes, that's for them to decide as they grow up. He never badmouthed God, Buddha, Gandhi, anything, but he never pushed it either. He never made us go to church. He never made us go to this. He never made us do that. And it just, and maybe I turned out worse for that. Maybe I turned out better. I don't know. But I think that that's the right way to parent. You don't force your insecurities or your beliefs on your child at a young age, because then they're just going to grow up like a mindless zombie.
And that's the problem. And they're so much easier to mold when they're younger. So,
like, teach your kid 4 languages.
Yeah.
Like there's, as you just said, like they're sort of like a sponge. Teach them 4 languages, because kids can pick up languages like nothing when they're that age. I'm still trying to get my Rosetta Stone Spanish down, because I'm older now. But I would rather teach my kid 3 languages than try to say, hey, you should go pray to God, or hey, you should go to a pride parade.
This is something that I'm going to speak about soon, and I'm going to come back into like the dating stuff in a second. But I want to ask you guys a question in terms of your guys' upbringing. Would you say that like like in my upbringing, my parents are from the islands. My dad's Jamaican, my mom's Trini. So education in Black community is something that's just very important and pushed as a result of things like slavery and blah blah yada yada. I'm not going to get into all that, but I would argue that. Well, I don't think I was poorly raised at all. I really don't. And both my parents were around. However, I would argue that they cared more about me being just successful and educated, more so than me being a properly well-rounded and moral human being in all aspects of life. And a big part of that was how to really be a man like a husband, like run the house, like run the household, like and how to properly navigate dating and women. They just kind of let me figure that out on my own. You know what I'm saying? I really wish I had a bit more guidance trying to navigate that thing instead of just literally learning by trial and error. So I want to ask you guys, like, because I ask this because a lot of times when you hear, like, I don't know if you guys watch any like Kevin Samuels and certain content from like the Manosphere and stuff or whatever, you'll hear like, you know, some of them like, oh yeah, my mom never taught me to clean or cook or do anything, blah blah blah. It's like almost like anti, you know, don't be this, just chase your career. And I'm always for education, but something like cooking, I think is like driving. I mean, I don't like to drive because I think driving is dangerous and I hate doing it, but it's a practical skill that you're going to need just at some point for some reason. Just have your license. Know how to make a meal. I don't care if you're whipping up 5-star meals. You don't have to be Sanji Vinsmoke, but can you make something edible for real? Like, you cannot be ordering food out and shit that all the fucking time. It's not good for you. Stop living like that. Take this shit seriously, like for real. So, yeah. So to the question, how would you guys say your parents kind of raised you in that aspect? Like, to be more well-rounded or just education?
Well, me and you are in the same exact boat, so you already know my answer. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, all that my mom ever cared about was fucking me freaking attending school and passing that shit. Nothing else. I mean, I could go in a whole damn 10-page paper about that shit. Not only that, she ain't cultivating none of my fucking likes. Nothing that I ever wanted to do. None of that. Just made sure that I was fucking in that bitch and passing. That's it. Mm-hmm. Fuck everything else. Shoot. But yeah, me and you in the same exact boat. I would say I was probably a little bit worse because I most definitely don't have both of my parents in my life. That's number one. Number two, not only did I not have any parental figure like that actually cultivate the things that I wanted to do, but being someone who was quote unquote born inferior, I was really barred from doing things that I wanted to do regardless. So it wasn't necessarily a struggle, or maybe it was, and I'm just freaking mentally stronger than I think I am. But yeah, it wasn't easy either.
Okay,
I agree with that. For me, I ain't have both parents except my mom, but what I did have was I was close to my cousins, right? And there was a lot of older cousins I had. So I grew up mainly around them. And the oldest ones were like, when I was in middle school, they were in high school. So they were kind of a little bit of the guidance I had. And then for discipline, I had like a military uncle and shit like that. And, you know, but mainly the only thing, when I was stepped out of line, because he controlled a lot when I was younger. Main thing they only cared about though was basically like just passing your fucking classes in school like that. I mean, I tried to pursue a lot of different things. My mom was always supportive of whatever I wanted to do in that regard. But the only thing she ever pushed me for was basically, okay, just pass school. But anything I want to do as far as like interest or hobbies, stuff like that, she would always support it.
Okay. Pat?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat as you and Simi Naya because, like, you know, most of my parents are African. And it was like, you know... they immigrants, so like they couldn't really like buy a lot of the things that I would end up wanting to have. Like I would see all my peers and stuff come to school with. So like I kind of got into the habit of like not asking for things because I just already expected the answer would be no. Mm-hmm. And like that kind of like plagues me today. Like it's very difficult for me to ask for help or ask for something from somebody else.
I have that problem too.
Yeah, and like as far as school, like it was just a lot of pressure. Like, I come back home from school with like a 95% on a spelling bee, and my mom would ask me why I didn't get 100. I'm like, I just got 95. Like, what you mean?
Yeah. Never. It's never enough.
So, like, you know, I mean, but at the same time, they were kind of like laid back. Like, the stuff that they did buy for me, like, they would just let me do my own thing as long as my grades were good. And just let me play the game or watch television
like,
or whatever.
Like good grades could just fix anything for like blah blah. Like I got an A on this test. All right, yeah, you can play the GameCube. You know.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's fair. Griever, what about you? You spoke about your dad a little bit. Was your mom around?
Yeah, actually, I'm sort of feeling like the I'm the lone white boy here because fucking I got like literally my parents are both still together. Been married almost 38 years.
I hope so for me one day, man. I hope.
You know, me and my brother are both successful. We bought our own houses. We have our own wives. We got our own jobs.
Oh yeah, nice.
You know, like, and it's funny because what Nia was saying earlier. Though I do feel that whole I got a 95. Why didn't you get a 96? I did get that a lot. I think that's more of a 90s, early 2000s kid thing. Every parent did that. But no, my parents were always around, and they were always. We were a very family-oriented family. Like every birthday, every Christmas, every Easter, everybody would go to the grandmother's house, and all the uncles were there, all the aunts were there. Like that was just our shtick. So I never had any like. I don't want to say that there weren't some fallouts. Like, for example, my mother taught us how to cook and stuff, like you were saying now. Like you should learn how to cook a fucking meal. But now I know how. The problem that there is a quick problem with that, because now I couldn't eat a fucking Swanson dinner if you fucking paid me. Like I couldn't eat that shit because I've been spoiled by home cooked meals so long. I cook better than what you can buy in a store. So I can't eat it. I'm like, why the fuck did I spend $10 on this?
Yeah.
So, but there are some skills that I wish my dad had taught me, that I wish my mom had taught me from earlier on and growing up and stuff like that. But overall, it's this weird thing where now I'm feeling like spoiled or lucky, but at the same time, I also dispute that my circumstances should be the norm.
That's what I was.
You should grow up in a healthy household.
Exactly.
You should grow up in a healthy household with two. Yeah, I don't care if they're divorced or whatever. Even if they're divorced, you should grow up in a household with two parents that love you, that want the best for you, that want you to do well in school, that want to teach you practical skills, that want to basically take the best of the two of them, which is me and my wife's philosophy when we have kids. Is you take the best of both of us and you make the next better version of the two of you. Like that's your job as a parent. You're not supposed to make like anybody can pop out kids. Look at China. Anybody can pop out kids. It's not difficult, but you should. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So I'm feeling a little spoiled, but at the same time, I don't think I should feel that way.
I think that model is something that should be a lot more common. Like I totally agree with that. Like that should.
It's literally science. Yeah. Like that's literally science. If you have two parents in a household, you're most likely gonna raise a functional adult, child to adult. Like science.
It's kind of like the interconnectivity of all things, right? You live in a household with two loving parents that care about you, instill good morals and values into you. You see how a functional relationship works, and then you internalize that and bring it to you into real world, and then you know how to have a proper relationship. Imagine seeing your parents constantly fighting and divorce, and that's what you know.
Right.
That might be hard for you because I want to say this speaking personally in my own experience, right? I can just say this one thing because I do understand only really understanding one way of how stuff works, because I came from such a place where everything was so I had to have a barrier up at all time. Okay. So I was very distrustful, I'm cynical, skeptical, all of those things, to the point when I actually met somebody who was genuinely just compassionate and nice, I didn't trust it. I thought there was an angle. I thought there was something they wanted. I thought they would be a fake, phony. And it's like, no, you just haven't talked to somebody who's fucking nice to you in so long, you're not used to it. That's what happened. You're tripping. She's fine. So, yeah.
Someone just there being kind because they're a kind person.
Yeah. So, you're in a normal family, man. Vince, did you wanna chime in on that?
Sure. Since everybody else chimed in,
I'll go next after.
Yeah, you go after.
Okay, so I have both my parents, but both my parents are like old as hell. Like my dad's like 70 now, so like I come from like a family where I didn't learn a lot of skills because basically my parents were just old, so it just like expected them to do all that stuff. It's kind of like nah. Like some people are just like some people have their kids do like everything. They turn them into like mini machines. Nah, that wouldn't happen over here. I feel like my parents' best thing with me is that they were just like made me well-rounded as far as like seeing different walks of life and making me do different stuff. Like we would do stuff that I wouldn't say are like very like stuff that normal stereotypical black people would do. Like I've been to like Chinese festivals, I've been to all sorts of like restaurants, traveled to a whole bunch of places, but only in America. Hopefully I was out of country eventually, but like they just did a really good job of making sure that like I was well rounded and like respectful and shit like that. Mm-hmm. You know, they did a pretty good job.
Tolerant of other people's cultures.
Yeah.
Another thing a lot of parents need to do. That was a great job for their part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so as for me, I guess I'm the only Latino in the call. So I had both parents and like grandparents in the household. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm Cuban, so they came here like in the early 90s and shit from over there. So that already put me in a perspective. I have like an immigrant mindset, like, yo, work hard and shit, especially like, you know, from where you come from and shit, you know. You could be living a chill life and all of a sudden shit goes haywire and you're living shit, you know. So it's always like, you know, being your own individual self and shit and like working hard and shit like that, you know. But also like with the mindset of like, yo, treat other people kindly, bro, because you don't know what they're going through and shit. And who knows, maybe they treat you well when you need it the most, you know. My dad, you know, really taught me how to be a man, especially like when he put me in like martial arts and shit, because he goes, hey, you're going to be in middle school soon in fucking Miami. You know, you're a small, scrawny kid with glasses and shit. I don't want you to be nobody's bitch, you know, which is good, you know.
I think martial arts are good for discipline, too.
Yeah, and that, too. No, I never was, like, a misbehaved kid. It was, like, you know, it made me more well-behaved, say, more manners and shit like that. But, again, the most important thing was, like, you're not going to be someone's bitch, especially since, you know, you're a good kid, you're kind. I don't want you know, people taking advantage of that shit, you know. Yeah. I guess the only thing I would say, like, they didn't show me the most about is, you know, the dating scene, but I will say part of that is that I didn't want them to help me, especially like the teenage phase. You know, teenage phase, you're like, yo, they what the fuck do they know? They do know, right? Leave me alone,
Fair enough. With my fucking acne.
And honestly, even as an adult, like I'm more comfortable with it, but I still don't want to talk about fucking with my parents. You know, like, yo, that's still mad awkward for me.
Yeah, I mean, that can be awkward. I will say one thing though. I sort of wish one thing you brought up. I really wish that my dad had sort of at least sort of tried from an early age to get me maybe into like boxing or something like that. Just because I was like I'm a very scrawny, thin white boy. Because he always taught me like the age-old, you don't hit women. So I remember in 6th grade, I got my ass kicked by a 7th grade woman. I was in tears. She was kicking me, and I never fought back because my dad. And then I come home, black and blue, all across the stomach.
Nigga, you got skunked like that? Jesus Christ!
I got fucked up. I mean, once again, I was only like, I didn't reach like 5 feet until I was like in 7th grade.
But why she put you in a mixer?
I was a
like
small kid. But nonetheless, I got my ass beat, and then like I said, and in tears, I told my dad, "Well, I didn't hit her," like as though that was an accomplishment, you know, because he said, "You don't hit women."
You should have did, bro.
What's that?
I would have told you if I was your dad. I'm like, you did good, son. But I need you to do. Here's like $50. Go hire like 3 girls to go beat her up, bro.
There you go.
Wow.
3 big bitches.
There you go.
Just get her jumped after school, bro. It's not even on.
And you know what the funny thing is? First time I met the girl. Last time I ever saw her, she was from some other school, and I never saw her again. I don't even know her name.
Oh no, we would have skunked the whole school. No, we'd have sniffed her out.
There you go.
Nah, bro.
Yeah,
it's one thing. She hit you a couple times or whatever. She skunked you. No way she get away from that.
I wanna touch on that before I get back to the what I think you should do to not lose hope in the dating scene, quote unquote. I'll touch on that for a second because this is something that I never thought about until maybe recently, right? When men talk to each other, there's always the possibility of civil discourse failing and a fight breaking out, low level fight, right? So, like I said,
we spoke about this the other day.
Exactly. Me and Pat are talking, and I say something crazy, and I'm like, "That's why your dad yada yada." Bow in my face, he hits me, and now we fighting, right? Because I was fucking out of line. Because women don't have that, they don't have to do that when it comes to men. And for a clear reason, we're really, very much raised to not put our hands on them. Not only because like chivalry yada yada, because of how much trouble you can get in if you do it. So even though they know that maybe this is the guy that might hit me back, you know how much trouble he'll get in almost no matter what you did. You're gonna pull up to his house, took a golf club, broke the windows, and did all stuff, and he like kind of pushes you to stop. Like, oh my god, you assaulted me! You're done. You're cooked. Right? So they don't. So like I wish there was a better way for us to learn growing up how to deal with that better, because sometimes the women are just acting absolutely crazy in my face and doing something. I just have to. All I do is walk away. Cause I'm like, nothing I could do. I can't do nothing.
Just touch on that. I wouldn't blame anybody for us not learning that, because to this day I still don't know how to deal with that. Nobody has a good. Nobody has.
No, that's not something.
Nobody has a good answer. I do too.
That's not something that should be on our part.
If a woman's going nuts, like as you just pointed out, like I'm either on CNN tomorrow for stopping her, or I'm in jail. Take your pick, or both. You know, like, so it's like
you learn wrestling. You don't have to hit them. You just put them in a chokehold.
Pat, were you saying that you think women need to hold women accountable for that kind of stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, a lot of women that end up being crazy like that, their mothers didn't teach them, like, you know, you shouldn't,
or show them how to
prey on a man's insecurities, or like say that wild stuff in front of their faces, because they know it's socially unacceptable for us to strike a woman, no matter what the circumstances are.
Yeah.
Wait, Amber Heard. I believe you're on a call to Johnny Depp. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what was so crazy, because they're still acting like she's nothing wrong. But anyways,
you know what moms have to do? Lily showed him like a picture of like the Ray Rice video. You know, it's like, hey, you may meet a guy that won't hit you, but one day you're gonna meet a guy and he's gonna fuck up your pretty face. And
you never know. You know, what type of man
you never know.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what that remind me of?
Or worse, they'll just shoot you dead. You don't know. You don't fucking know.
Remind me of that video, that football game, that black dude.
Yes.
He paused for a second because he was about to let her ass, and then he was like, and then her nigga came, then he beat his ass.
Yeah, he let loose on her man, and he didn't even do anything.
And that's that. I honestly, that was something that happened to me a lot when I was younger, because not me getting beat up, but like my girlfriend was like, "Oh, he looked at me funny, yada yada." I'm like, "I guess I have to fight him." Like it's just they be basically promoting your fights. Like, all right, hold on. You know what? My boyfriend will stand for this. I was like, what did I do? Like, I'm over here chilling. Like, I don't want to fight.
What I don't understand is, why is it okay? Why is it socially acceptable? Like, once again, you just said it yourself like 5 minutes ago. Why is it socially acceptable to be like, okay, two guys get drunk, they fight in a bar, and they both get, okay, guys, go wash yourselves off. You know, you get kicked out. That's okay. You throw a few punches. The moment, if a woman that, like Ronda Rousey punches me in the face and I hit her back, somehow I'm an assaulter. I don't get it.
That ain't no woman. That's a fucking super soldier.
That's what I'm saying. Michelle Rodriguez comes up to me and roundhouse kicks me. Trust me, I ain't getting back up.
I'm not even gonna fight her. I need the blick. I need the blick. I'll get mixed.
Hey man, listen, Tracy Cortez pull up. I'm gonna get on one knee and get the ring out. I'm like, hey, listen.
Oh wow.
Amanda Nunes.
We can work something out. Nah, can you imagine? Imagine me. I'm like 5'4". That nigga not like 6'3".
Wow.
230.
So many people are gonna be so disappointed when they see me, bro. I'm not that tall.
I'm not even gonna mind my business. I'm walking. I just make eye contact. Accident. Next thing I know, I'm getting picked up and put in the trash can and rolled down the hill. Talking about, you looking at my girl, little nigga? I'm like, what?
Y'all not petty enough for me in this call.
Oh my old man put a Frenchman in a dumpster once.
Like I'm not getting smoked like this and no retaliation happening. I don't know, maybe just me.
That's fair. But all right. So hold on. Let's get into the hookup culture stuff now. In the current state of what we're into. So dating, because I would say this. Listen, I'm actually okay with women. Do what you want. Do what you want. Like I'm for real when I say this, right? So let's just take woman A. We're gonna call her Michelle. Michelle's a nice young 26-year-old lady, very good looking. and she likes to have fun with a lot of guys, and that's great. Live her life. You can do that. But now she meets fucking Jared. I don't know why I use Jared, but actually Jared is what my
Jared
parents
sounds like an asshole.
Jared, I think is what my parents were going to name me before they named me in the elementary. But anyways, right? Jared, I can't pass for Jared, bro.
Dude,
so she meets Jared, right? She meets Jared.
I'm not gonna step on this toes. Jared is a little bit white.
Yeah, that's
it.
So
call you Jay.
Yeah, there you go. Michelle meets Jared, and Michelle actually likes Jared, like for real. Like this is a man that she admires, respects, and values, and wants to be with him long term. Jared is fully aware of her promiscuous nature, so he's like, I'm very good off of that. My problem is she'll tweak and malfunction and act a certain way. You see, my problem with a lot of people is they don't accept the fucking pros that comes with the cons. For example, if I'm here slinging dick on OnlyFans, and some girl's like, hey, I don't want to be with you because if you have a kid, what if they're like, hey, your dad's slinging dick on OnlyFans, I'll be like, that is fair. Totally logical. What can I say? Let's flip this now. Let's say Michelle likes me, and I'm like, your butthole's on OnlyFans. I'm not going with you because this is a terrible long-term investment. You're highly promiscuous with me. And here's the thing about this, too. I speak about principle behind the actions very often because I mean this. And the example I use a lot of times, like, let's say I'm a multimillionaire. Pat comes over and he takes $5 from me. Bro, I'm a multimillionaire. I don't care that he took $5. My problem is, A, why did you come to my home and take from me? And 2, why didn't you think it was cool enough for you to ask me for money? The problem with promiscuity with them is their fucking decision making. That's really my problem. I'm not insecure about the fact that she had a bunch of guys in and out of her. I don't care about that, honestly, to that degree. But
I wouldn't have married my wife if that were the case.
Yeah, I'm not. If I know somebody's had a past like that, I'm not committing to you for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
You see, I need some guys to take this fucking seriously when I say this. The person that you're going to decide that you want to spend the rest of your life with is one of the most fucking important decisions you're going to make. Don't half-ass this shit. Yo, trial by fire, okay?
No.
Trial by fire. They need to make it through your vetting process. Not just, I haven't talked to a girl really in 3 years. This one touched me, okay. No, we're not doing that. I don't care.
Get a booty call and get over it.
We're not doing that. We're respecting ourselves. We're having fucking standards, and if those standards aren't met, or imagine that, we're having boundaries, and those boundaries are trespass. We're not letting them renege and come back. So if you say, hey, if you don't take out the trash, blah blah blah, and they don't take out the trash, honor your word. Whatever you said you were gonna do, honor that shit. Stop making capitulations for them. That's my problem with a lot of you guys. Like, I'll be like, yeah, she did this. I hate when she does it, but yada yada. So wait. She can get everything she wants, and you get none of it, and you're miserable, but you're still here. For what reason? This is a lack of self-respect for yourself.
I got a perfect example for you, Nah.
Go ahead, brother.
My wife hates. This is what I do because I drink tea. But it doesn't matter. It could be coffee, right? I leave my mug on the side of the sink. I don't rinse it for the reason that I'm going to use it later. I might have a cup of tea later. That drives her insane, and she's like, could you not just do that for me? And I'm like, okay, like I could, but what's the problem with it? It's, it's my house, blah, blah, blah. And then her counter argument, which to be fair is good, but she's like, I didn't want to move to Canada in the first place. Can you not do a couple of changes for me? A couple of minor. She's not asking me to go sell my truck and start wearing diapers. She's asking me to fucking just put my goddamn tea mug in the dishwasher or in the sink when I'm done.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm moving from my family, from my friends, from my culture, because she's Latina, to come to Canada, where I don't actually want to be, but I love you that much that I will move for you. She's like, can you just put the toilet seat down? Can you, put your tea mug away, that kind of stuff? And when she put it in, she put it in that perspective, and I went, yeah, okay, I can give up a few of my little quirks or whatever, and I don't need to be right. This is the problem in a lot of relationships, and I think you were going to touch on this. You don't necessarily need to be right or wrong. That's not what it's about.
You need to be honest, open, and communicating.
Right.
Give and take, compromise, equivalent exchange. You're not gonna get something without giving something. I always say for a relationship, you should be better together than you are separately. And if that's not the case, I don't think you should be in a relationship. Because a lot of them I find is one-sided. I find one person is always working so much harder than the other one.
You see that a lot.
I'm so glad that y'all brought this up because I tell people all the time, I do not want to have a relationship with a girl that has an OnlyFans account.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'd be like, "Oh, well, what do you mean? Like, do you think that OnlyFans women aren't deserving of love?" Da, da, da. I'm like, I didn't say all that. I said they're not getting it from me. I don't want to be in a relationship with somebody that's promiscuous like that, where they could easily just pull up a video of you doing Lord knows what behind that paywall and embarrass me. I don't want to see nothing like that being tied to my name.
I don't want to interrupt you, but I have one question, one just verbatim. If a girl you met had an OnlyFans account, she doesn't do it anymore. Now, what's your response? I'm just curious.
Digital footprint. You can't really get rid of it. And,
okay. But Naya, you just said Michelle fucked 6 guys. But you might marry Michelle. Use your guy number 7. Do the other 6 matter?
But see, it's different because she was doing that in her private time with somebody that she felt trustworthy with. Yeah. This is something that's in public for anyone with $10 to see.
And listen, when I go into dating history, I don't care about numbers necessarily. I care about situations and decision making. That's what I'm looking at, right? So even if it's just 6, right? That's not a high number. That's a total. That'd be great. Shorty had 6. That'd be that's amazing because in my head I pencil.
My wife is only 2. I'm number 3, so I think I'm doing pretty good.
Also, I would just go into vetting mode, be like, okay, why did you quit? What did you post?
Yeah,
all that shit.
Right,
and I'm very.
You have to remember how many women started an OnlyFans based on the fact that they just needed it's quick
fast
cash.
money. It's fast money.
Yeah, it's easier. It's easier than working at McDonald's.
It's fast money.
Seriously,
but fast money comes with slow problems.
Oh,
I still see this bad decision making in a lot of ways.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
And I'm always gonna be concerned about what if my fucking son is at school and they're like, yo, your mom's boobs, and they're bully the fuck out of me. And I have to go to school and beat the fuck out of 6-year-olds. I'm not doing that.
Hell, you could get bullied.
No. You don't beat them up. You hang them upside down.
You're right. They could come to me too, like, oh, your wife used to do this. Oh shit, nigga, like, yeah, you're not gonna. I don't care. People love to posterize and act like they don't care about perception. You may not care about how a lot of people think, but you're gonna feel a type of way if at any opportunity someone could be like, "Yo, your wife did this." You're not gonna want that as a man. You're not gonna take that, bro.
But and I agree with that. But here's an example. Well, this happens more to celebrities. But what about revenge porn? That shit gets out there. And as Pat, you just said, like or I think it was Pat said. This is that's something private between 2 individuals. It doesn't count like an OnlyFans. And I'm like, okay, so what if they made a sex tape and now it's out on the internet for everybody to see and you can't get rid of it? Are you still not going to date that woman because her boyfriend was an asshole?
That's a different, but that's a situation with context. Like obviously I'm generalizing in a lot of ways, but in most situations, I'm still gonna stick to my principles. I don't really compromise on things like that, right? But yeah, if I'm dating somebody and maybe a long time ago, like, oh fuck, I hate this guy, but I have this one time when we were dating, I'm gonna put this out. That's not on her. That says a lot more about him than just about her.
I'll just say I'm playing devil's advocate. I really am. But I'm just curious.
I don't mind if you want to get into specific scenarios because I will find this question because then you have to shift your thinking because I understand when I make these generalized statements. I understand people are like, yeah, but there's always exceptions to the rule and whatnot. But I always say if 51% of something happens, that's still the majority, even if it's 51%. Mm-hmm. But I have to say this though, I generalize because when it comes to certain stuff that are historical and biological, you just can't change it. History is what happened, and biology is biology. You could talk about men and women are the same all you want. It's not fucking true. 2, culture. You have to take culture into account. Culture is very important. And thirdly, psychology. You can't divorce the 3 together. Why do I say that? Well, I'll use as a guy, you know what? Let's talk about this because a lot of older guys get stigmatized and demonized for dating women who are younger, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say you're 36 and she's 28. You might get demonized for that, whatever, or even younger, whatever.
Yeah.
But I did. For me, it's always a phase of life thing. That's really why I never really mess with girls who are younger than me like that because I'm like, what I am worried about and thinking about today at 28 is not what you're worried about at fucking 19. You know what I'm saying? So it's cooked. So that's just my reasoning. But that's personal. But Men on average, men look for fertility in youth. That's what we're attracted to. There was a survey done by is Dataclysm and BYRIE and another one I can't remember, but they took a survey of men from 18 to 50 and asked them at what age do they find women the most attractive, and I believe the number never exceeded about 25, 24, 25, right? From 19 to 50. But we'll get demonized for that, right? And I say if you're two consenting adults having safe sex, you do what you want. It has nothing to do with me. Now let's take women, right? 6 feet, 6 figures, 6 inches, blah, 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 this and that and the third, muscular, good looking, yada, yada, which I have literally not a single issue with. Those are totally fine and well. But I also understand where it comes from. I'm not going to demonize you for that because I understand that women are naturally disposed to think about the possible genetic information they're going to pass off to their theoretical offspring. Things like muscle, height, those are desirable traits. You want those things. And it goes back to kind of like the old tribe era where you want to mate with the big, strong warrior to help create more warriors to protect the tribe. It comes from somewhere. So the reason why I brought that up too is because, like, again, information to me is power. When I understand something, even if it's something that I don't like and it's upsetting, with information and understanding comes clarity, and I can let that rage dissipate. I can understand you being mad at, like, here's the thing. If this is not true for you, cut me off. I was raised to, like, never hit a woman. You pedestalize a woman. You do anything you can for her happiness. You know, the kind of Disney fairy tale. You're kind of Prince Charming, and as long as you're a good man, hardworking man, a man who doesn't cheat, yada yada yada, you'll find what's out there for you. Why is it that anytime I act in within those parameters and teachings, my relationships fucking fail and I get hurt? That's frustrating. Imagine you did that, now you're 20, and now you really, really realize that's not true. You're going to be upset because your whole life is distorted. The reason why getting cheated on hurts so much, if I say you're in a 90-year relationship and you get cheated on, and maybe it wasn't the first time, that distorts your whole reality. When did it happen? When was real? When did they?
What did I do?
What did I do? When did it stop? Was it the 4th year? Was it year 2? How long were they doing this to me? It fucks up how you look at the world. So you're going to be fucking pissed. I understand if you get mad at that. If you're a man or a woman mad at men for pathologizing you or you know, vice versa, I understand that. But that's when I say you have to go and do the work to understand it and come to a middle ground. Because it's hard. Because trust me, I had a phase too where I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna treat them like cum dumps. Oh, I'm so mad at them. That's all they're worth. Like, I had that phase. I'm not gonna pretend and act like I wasn't mad at them at one point too.
I think we all did.
Yeah. I was.
No, I never had that phase.
You just weren't getting laid though. That's the difference.
Extremely upset.
Nah, I just didn't have that phase, brother. We just not all the same.
She says she only fucked like 4 or 5 niggas. She multiplied by 3. So shout out to Cole, man. Cole World. I'm not gonna lie to you. I pencil in 30 plus and keep it moving. That's why I got teamed up. She wanted to test one of the best genes. She was fighting for real. That's why she was liberating. Honestly, did you guys talk about the Twitter thread of women exposing themselves? You didn't miss all of it. We did speak about it, but I'm still kind of touching on it, so don't worry about it. But I'm gonna get to there because I wanna here's my best advice, right? In terms of like what you can do to maximize your chances, because I understand that we can't all win the genetic lottery, so to speak. Can't. I'm sorry you don't look like LeBron James. You know, it's not for everybody. You know. But what I always say is you should give yourself always the highest possible chance and percentage to get the things that you want, which is going to require effort and work, which is, I think people are fucking allergic to these days. They don't want to work hard on anything. They want to change social conventions to accept them the way they are, so they don't have to change anything about themselves. Come to the victimhood and victim blaming things. If you are constantly a victim and everything in the world is wrong and not you, you will not work on yourself. You will do zero introspection. You will not try to be better. Because why would I have to be better when they're wrong for saying I'm fat? I'm not fat. I love my curves. No. Go to the gym and eat better. That's what you need to fucking do. Not have the world accept you for what you are. So it's going to take work, which is why I say from a finance standpoint, which is the one thing that I would say I struggle with the most. This is what I'm finally tapping into and working on. It's just the finances and the social economical status, which I'm trying to get into. But fitness is very important. And this is one that people say a lot, but they don't talk about it in the way that I think is, they talk about it in a way that's disingenuous. Mental health. And mental health, I mean heal. Heal properly. Don't you start tweeting some spiritual miracle shit. Go get proper help. I'm not even saying see a literal professional therapist, but you coming on Twitter talking about some Virgo rising spiritual miracle, manifesting whatever the fuck you're doing is not healing. I refuse to let the woman that I am dealing with currently pay for the past mistakes of other women who hurt me in the past. I'm not doing that. I'm going to take the time and work to heal myself properly so I can experience her in full and she doesn't have to pay for anyone else's mistakes. A lot of you guys have so much goddamn baggage just jumping around, ping-ponging around, and you hurt people. You're just perpetuating the problem. This is why the mental health part for me is about healing. Understanding, healing, getting over that stuff. And it takes work and you have to do it every day.
That's the most important thing is that people think like therapists, like you go into a session or two, they're going to wave their magic wand and you're here. No, it's a collaborative effort. You have to put in your side too once you have the guidance and you learn the techniques and stuff to better yourself. If you don't do it, just wasting your goddamn time. Yeah. And then, like you said, in the process, you got hurt other people and yourself because you didn't put in the work.
Naya, you know that my wife. I believe you know that my wife has a PhD in autism specialist.
Yeah, so, I remember. We used to talk. We a couple times in Grim Stream. You spoke about it. I remember.
Yeah. So she has to deal with what you're basically talking about every single day, and sometimes it's very, very frustrating, especially when you have low functioning, because they talk about people with mental disorders in the form of low functioning, and high functioning. High functioning, you probably could be like, that guy's a little strange, but you wouldn't think they might be mental in that way. And low functioning is, oh yeah, that dude's totally fucked.
Yeah.
So
there's like a high function alcoholic, like you wouldn't know, like he's doing all the work, blah blah blah, but obviously.
Right. Yeah. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. So they use those terms just to not be insulting and stuff, but also they're very accurate because she has a lot. Sometimes she has very difficulty, and the thing is, if you go away for like a month, all of a sudden you come back, you got to now repeat the 2 months you just spent. Exactly. Like there's it's a never ending process. You don't necessarily like her field doesn't believe in like the pills. Like pills don't solve mental illness. It's hardwired into the brain.
Yeah, don't.
So
if you could not be medicated, I would advise don't be medicated to fix your issues.
Right.
Deal with them
because you need to. It's a struggle, as was said before, every single day, and you need to constantly work on it. Just like. It might be harder for the next person, like for someone with a mental illness, but we all struggle. We all need to get our ass out of bed in the morning. We all need to go to work. We all need to mow the lawn, do the dishes, do this. And even if we don't want to, we need to find the willpower to keep pushing forward, to work out that day, to not drink that beer, to not, like whatever your goals are,
Exactly.
And so anyways.
So, speaking of Pure Life earlier asked me what mistakes I made as a young man that I wish I didn't make. I'm about to get into that stuff right now, right here, right now. Because sometimes, like I said, some people, oh man, you're working hard, got 3 jobs, this and that and the other. And I always say this, bro, I don't work 3 jobs for fun. It's not a necessity, my nigga. I did not take my early 20s seriously. I was chasing ass. I was not serious. I did not take my life seriously when I was younger. I'm young, I'll figure it out, blah, blah, blah. Maybe I'll get lucky. Like, no, I was not serious. People are not taking their life seriously. This is your life. You have one to live, man. You need to take that shit seriously. Unfortunately, it took me a little longer to get to this point, but I did get here eventually. And as a result, I have to make up for the years that I didn't do that stuff. So here's my suggestion for anybody who's like, a lot younger than me and coming up right now. Whether or not you are interested in women or, you want them or not. Because you need to build yourself up. And you need to be the best version of yourself every day. Be better today than you were yesterday. And that's going to come from... I'm going to talk about fitness, the importance of physical health too, right? And the reason why I think it's important to eat well and work out, I'm not saying go to the gym, become a protein head, and all, you don't have to do all that. No one's telling you to do all that. You don't have to become a gym rat. But you should be doing some type of activity. And the reason, obviously, if you're physically able, I know there's some people, maybe you're sick or something like that, but like if you're physically able, you should do it. And the reason why is one thing about fitness that helped me is that fitness teaches you certain types of discipline. That's why I actually like yoga and I like martial arts, because it also instills certain mantras into you. those things are transferable to other parts of your life. Think about like if you for video games, right? You might play a fighting game. And yeah, you might switch to another fighting game that you don't play, but a lot of the things that you know from the previous one is still applicable in this one. You move back the block, crouch blocking, spacing, zoning. Those are all still things that exist in any fighting game, even though the combo or maybe the physics system is different. Fitness and eating well is the same thing. Getting a regiment and a routine to constantly build up your body, and honestly, when you work on your body and you start to see results, your confidence is gonna go up naturally. Man, hold on, who that in the mirror? Hold on, nigga. Hey, who that in the mirror, man? Like you're gonna, especially if you never looked like that before and you put that work in, you're gonna be like, yo, I did that. I always find with people who are having weight problems and once they see that first, like, yo, I used to be 203, now I'm like 190. They get addicted to it, the progress, the work, and
it only takes 32 days. This is confirmed science. It only takes 32 days to install a routine into the brain. Mm-hmm. So 32 days of doing the same activity. That's how do you think people get up at 6 a.m. every single day for 45 years to go to work? It's called routine. The brain loves routine, but it needs to be consistent for 32 days.
Exactly. And I always love the BoJack Horseman line where when BoJack's passed out breathing and he's like, it gets easier. He's like, what? He's like, it gets easier, but you have to do it every day. That's the hard part. And I love that quote because it's fucking factual. It's facts.
It is.
Because at some point, running that 1K is going to... And then after you do that for a month, that 1K is nothing. Now you got to do 2K. Now you got to do 3K. And then boom, you're used to it. That's how it works. So, and then learning how to discipline your eating and drinking, that's also very important too. And these are things, like if you think really long term too, if you're like going to have a family later on, you have kids, do you want your kids to just be eating crap all the time? No, you don't. So if you actually already have good eating habits, know how to cook properly and make proper meals, everything, your kids will also take that with them in their life. Like my parents didn't feed me crap. As a result, I'm not a fast food guy or like that. Like Sydney and Vince are always laughing at me because I don't eat this, I don't eat that, blah blah blah, yada yada. But I'm very used to home cooked food, and my coaches did not fuck with fast food at all either. So it's like I was taught, your body's like a car engine, yada yada. The fuel you put into it is what you burn. McDonald's is not fuel. You know what I'm saying? Popeyes is not fuel. This is not.
Let's take that into the dating scene, at least in America, where everyone is basically a fat ass. Like legit. I think it's now 50% of people overweight. Mm-hmm. If you just eat right, you don't even have to fucking go to the gym and shit. Just eat right. You're already more attractive in half of the damn country. You're already, right there to attract some girls and shit. Whatever. So.
Yeah.
God, there's so many fat people.
Yeah.
Snap. High school social life of being the weird kid in the 6th grade. Go ahead, Pat.
No, I was just saying. You said there's so many fat people. It's shit.
So many fat people.
Yeah.
Prioritizing and putting in genuine effort to better yourself with all seems like a tall task to one that isn't used to having their needs met, but it's a must. Yeah, and here's why you do it too. So, take it seriously. Like, okay, it's hard to find out what it is you want to really do in life, like what's your literal calling and purpose, but I implore that you explore that to its fullest degree. I understand it's hard to work on yourself. You know how hard it was for me last year to look in the mirror and be like, all of these things about you are super undesirable. You need to be fucking better. It's hard to look in the mirror and be like, this thing about you is shitty. It's shitty. Fix it. Do something about it. Nothing worth doing is easy, man. So... Yeah. So when you work on yourself to that degree, and I say, you reach a certain level of financial freedom and stability, you're in good shape and good health. No one's saying you got to be a hulking 280-pound pure muscle, no body fat. No one's asking for all that. You don't have to do all that, okay? Because I know people who just dance, do Zumba. That's fine. Do what you got to do. Whatever.
Listen, you can be fit and not look like fucking Chris Evans.
Exactly.
You can you don't need to look like a Hollywood star. At the end of the day, and I will tell everyone right now, because I used to work out. I haven't due to COVID. Let's be real here. It's got me depressed. It's got me stressed. It's got me a lot of things. Right? No work. No this. No that. So what failed? The working out. But you know what I did in the last couple months? I started working out again. And you know what? You feel better about yourself.
Yep.
and people notice. And people
you start, all of a sudden your posture's a little better, you're feeling a little more energetic. Maybe you will tackle that project that you've been pushing off, procrastinating. Maybe you will do that thing. Maybe you don't mind doing those chores that you were like, oh my God, you wait until 11 o'clock at night to do them. Working out actually installs a lot of things. There's science behind it, but at the end of the day, working out benefits more than just your physical body.
And yes, exactly. And do stuff with intentionality, like have a goal and purpose at some point. Like one thing about me is I like how my body looks. Like this is the most I've liked how I've looked, but I've also cared about how my body performs. You know what I'm saying?
I like your arms. Let's be real.
So thank you. You know what I'm saying? I hate and here's a funny thing too. People know this. I hate lifting weights. I hate that shit. I fucking hate it.
Oh, I do too.
I can't stand lifting weights. Okay, it's hard, but I suck it up and do it because I know it's Because I know it's important. So yeah. So hold on, real quick. And the reason that you do all these things is not because because this is the problem that a lot of guys, even guys I know who have made it make. They'd be like, okay, I'm in good shape. I'm making good money now. Where are the bitches? No.
Come to me.
No. You have it wrong. You have it all wrong. The reason that you do these things is to instill certain levels of confidence, morals, standards, boundaries that cannot be crossed with you, so you don't deal with the nonsense that women are going to put on you. Case in point, let's say you're a guy and one of your boundaries is that you don't like people weaponizing something vulnerable you gave to them, and someone does that to you. You might let it slide once. Second time you don't let it slide. You let it. But if you're someone who doesn't value yourself because you never worked at that level, you'll let her call you out your name 1,000,000 times and you won't leave because there's probably a part of you that thinks you deserve this or you can't do any better. But if you have worked yourself to a certain point, you won't tolerate that type of nonsense, bro. You can argue that maybe I'm a little too much, but I was on a date for 20 minutes and left. Oh, maybe half an hour. Because bro, she just staff like shit. She just spoke about herself and her ex-boyfriend for half an hour. What am I doing here? So I left. Why? Because there's two reasons. There's because I know that I'm putting in that type of work, and also I think it's something that's kind of important we have to talk about too to some degree, which is hard. I know it's hard for guys. We're gonna talk about this in a second. I'm gonna pee just now, but. I think they call it the abundance mindset. You can't a lot of guys get one-itis because honestly, I thought about this. I thought about the common guy. A lot of guys I talk to, where it's they're not like me, constantly out here doing the most. And I understand why I have my success because I was an athlete. So I was in my in high school and middle school and elementary school because I was so good at sports. I brought renown and acclaim to our school because I would win trophies and do well. I had value, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like how it works for me. But if you put me in a room full of mathematicians, I'm gonna be fucking foolish. You can't do nothing. I'll look fucking stupid in there. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah.
And if you're doing all that, I'm just gonna say, if you're doing all that for bitches,
yes,
then you're doing the wrong mindset.
You've already lost
because you're it's to do it. It's not for bitches. It's not for, and even if you have a good goal, not for bitches, but for a white picket fence dream with a loving wife and stuff, that's the wrong goal too. It's for yourself. You work out for you, not for anybody else.
Yeah. Especially if you're gonna go on and brag about it, fellas in the chat. Yeah. Women do not like braggers. They like their own self-discovery of the shit that you do and what you look and shit. Says,
discovery trumps disclosure.
Yeah.
Let them find out you have a lot of money. Yeah. Don't flaunt that shit. Don't leave with your wallet. Please stop. Hold on. Please stop leaving with your wallet too, by the way. Go ahead.
My wife loves when I have a six-pack, but at the same time, she doesn't berate me when I don't.
You guys just keep talking. I'm just going to pee real quick.
Okay, cool.
Why y'all stop talking when you say keep talking?
Oh shit! Okay.
Wait, let me look in the chat to see what people are saying. Hold up.
Yeah, what are people saying? What does Friday Night Funkin', Funktown Funk You Up have to do with this? I have no idea. I don't know. And first off, it's not Friday night. I don't know what funkin' means, and I don't know what
it's a video game. It's an indie video game.
I'm so old.
I'm married and I'm old.
I'm married and I'm old, and my wife is 4,000 miles in that direction.
Anyone have tips for going to the gym?
Friday Night Funkin'.
I mean,
If you have motivation issues to go to the gym, people always say wear your workout gear like it's like your normal gear, like in a house and shit, and I'll be already one big step of all right, I'm ready to go.
and
So
don't pay
tips?
attention to the gym rats either. They're going to discourage you. I've been to the gym many times.
See.
Don't let them discourage you. Be courteous. You know what? Wait your turn. You know what I mean? Because the gym rats are going to be there, and they're going to hog some machines. Sometimes, depending on the gym you go to. Sometimes you're going to have
fucking scream like a girl in bed.
Yeah. So just be like, and sometimes you know what? If you have a set schedule of workouts you do, don't be discouraged if you can't get to that workout because you got a bunch of guys hogging the machines or whatever. Just go do something else. Go do another workout. Try a new position, whatever, and then leave that day. Mm-hmm. Seriously, like it's not worth getting upset about because you're there for you. You're not there for them. So
the hardest part of being in the gym daily is actually getting up and going to the gym. Mm-hmm. Once you get into the habit of being in the gym and doing your workouts, you'll be fine. It's just starting. Starting is the biggest barrier.
And I love what Quietly said yesterday on Matt's stream when he basically said like, you know, giving people benefit of the doubt. Let's say you work out for 2 hours, like, you know, 5 days a week, right? And let's say on average you're up for like something like 18 hours. What you do with the rest of that day is actually more important than literally the working out part in a lot of ways. Because what a lot of people don't understand is how they eat. They eat so poorly, they invalidate the workout they just did. You're still going to get certain gains and tone up certain things, but if you go to the gym and you're like, all right, time to slap a 4-piece chicken Popeyes, like you're just invalidating the thing that you just did.
With a milkshake and shit,
yeah. Like you need to be careful about how you, like, I hate saying this because it sounds like it's a dickhead when I say this, but bro, weight loss is very simple. Calories burn, calorie intake. What do you think you need to do more than you intake? Burn. It's that simple. You need to lose more calories than you take in. That's all you have to do.
Listen. Like you can literally go online and look up calorie calculator. It will tell you how many calories you need to intake and how much you need to burn off to lose weight. It's not difficult. But people don't... Well, I shouldn't say that. It is difficult for people, but at the same time, they need to... Like, it's about commitment. And it's hard. It's a hard change for someone who eats 4,000 calories a day to drop it down to 2,000.
This is why I often say don't cold turkey. Cut down slowly.
Yeah. You need to do the slow burn. Mm-hmm. You know, like if I was going to quit drinking tomorrow, guess what? I ain't going cold turkey. I drink 12 beer a night. If I all of a sudden quit cold turkey, I think I'd go into DTs.
Shit like the keto diet's basically like going cold turkey. It's like, well, once you stop, you're gaining all that weight back quickly, like because you went cold turkey essentially, like, you know. Yeah. But you know, you know what I say, you know, for you guys to have a problem with the gym, I say straight up, find like a boxing gym, a kickboxing gym, or some shit. You get the benefits of you're going to a gym, set class schedules. And fucking hot ass conditions. Yeah, and that too.
You can get down on the floor and do sit-ups and push-ups.
I'll say at my gym, right? Like, we just advertised like a dude that just started training for 3 months and he's lost 80 pounds. Now, could that be also because of the diet he's doing? Sure, but it's like just like going and putting into work, it's already showing great results in such a good amount of time. Yep.
So yeah, like during the pandemic, gyms weren't open, and like, you know, I just got creative, right? I mean, I never forget that. I never forget this. I can't remember what game it was. What game was I playing? I'm like, I'm trying to play this. I'm trying to do nothing, but I need to work out. How do I do this? You got to get creative, man. Just think. Well, I know I'm a creative person. Everyone's creative, but I think so. I'm like, here's what I'm gonna do for today. Anytime I leave the room, because I drink so much water, I pee very often, right? To leave the room, 50 push-ups. To come back in the room, 50 push-ups. So that's what I did. Then the next day I did that with sit-ups, you know? So like to get back in the room, 100 sit-ups or 50 sit-ups to get to leave, whatever. Like you get creative. Just do stuff like that. Like
every single time tell me you're not playing your video games in the living room. Okay, you got a coffee table? Do some fucking those
dips, yeah.
Yeah, do those dips. Do those dips right there. Oh, you got a cutscene that's 45 seconds? Do dips until it's over.
Yeah.
Like, go. Like, it's not difficult. Like, you can do it all the time.
Sorry, any tips for going to the gym? I asked that question because
Yeah,
I made more
that's what we
time
do.
myself. Went to 20 hours, took care of my health. That's good. All
Once
right.
again, work out at home then. If you don't have time for the gym or you don't have the money to go to a gym, then just work out at home. Listen, 10 push-ups that you do today is 10 push-ups more than you did yesterday.
Exactly. It's just marathon, not a race. Just baby steps and increments, and don't worry about anyone else at the gym. I don't care if you think you look foolish or you don't look good. Anybody who's clowning you for actively working on their problem is a fucking bozo. Just focus on you. Don't worry about them. Because I be in the gym, people like, oh, look at that guy, huh? I'm like, yo, why are you clowning somebody who's coming here to fix the problem? Stop being a fucking loser. And let them
Gym
if anything,
rats
give
are
them a
toxic. They're
fucking
toxic
high five.
people, but ignore them. Ignore them. They're 5 to 10% of the people that actually go to the gym.
It's an off topic, but yeah, you brought back unwanted memories with the brown hair girl from Drug Candy. I feel it. Okay. So yeah, ultimately you just need to be the best version of yourself, and that's just gonna, like, you can't change anybody's nature. Like I'm a true believer of if somebody wants to step out and do you wrong and cheat, nothing you can do about it. Nothing. You can't change anyone's nature. I think a cheater is a cheater. I don't care what they believe in, what their gender is. It is what it is. But what you can do is always give yourself the best possible, chances to not have those things happen to you, or mitigate the damage should it happen to you. Which is why, basically, having a lot of self-worth, high standard self-respect, and working on yourself is really important. And I undervalued that in my early 20s. I didn't do that. What about being born again virgin? That's not something that I've actually ever heard in my real life. More so, Simi's favorite YouTuber Darius, he be saying that shit. So the bulbous head. So
listen, you want to be whoa. You want to be born again as a virgin? Just cut the wedding cake. You're good to go.
But for real though, I'm gonna say this. Please don't let girls sell you purity. Please don't buy that shit.
Especially nowadays. Oh, hell.
Do not buy that. Listen, it sounds fucked. In your head, pencil in 30+ and keep that shit pushing, brother.
30 plus.
When you think about it, because listen,
people think when I say 30, they think it's crazy. It's not cool, bro. I was like, some of my friends who are in relationships now, I'm like, bro, if you just, bro, she's so.
Yeah, you gotta realize that if you're in your late 20s, early 30s, that guess what, the women or the men, whatever your fancy, they've been around the block probably once or more. So like, you got to be real with that,
Yeah. Back in the day,
you know what's a very important tip.
Go ahead.
Yo, like, speaking of psychology and shit, y'all need to learn the word reinforcement. Like, hey, you see someone acting out, call it extinction. Do not give it attention. If they throw a temper tantrum or whatever, like a damn child, don't give it attention.
Don't enable.
No. Reinforcement behavior is the worst thing the parents do.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's awful. And we do it in our relationships. And it's
it's like one of the very basic things you learn in like behavioral psychology and shit, but it's like, yo, it works on kids and it works on the fucking adults too. Like, especially
so much childhood trauma resurfaces in adulthood. I didn't know it was that common. Like, it's so crazy. Like, it's really
that's the thing you learn in this field, dog. It's like, yo, everything transpires back to some sort of childhood shit.
That's why but PJ and Brittany think it's cooked. Yo, think about the cheering.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but I didn't say it earlier, but you know what people would say to that? It's like, oh, but they're both rich people. Who the fuck cares? And it's like, oh my god, no.
It doesn't just take money to raise a child.
Yeah.
Well,
I asked my wife one time. I said, hey, how many of those behavioral analyst tricks have you used on me? And she said, a few dozen. Did you notice them? I said, no. She goes, there you go. I went, shit. I said, how many were successful? She goes, a few dozen. I went, so I didn't even know it happened.
That's funny. Yeah. So I rate her for that, though. She's like, listen.
Yeah, she knows. She knows.
Yo, some token economy shit. Hey, you do this a certain amount of times, you'll get. I don't know.
Oh yeah. No. Because that's what did she call it? That's reward behavior.
Yeah.
That's very toxic. That's very bad. That's good for adolescents. Under the age of 8, that's okay. but once you get to 8 and up, they're always going to expect a reward for just basically being normal, and that's not a good thing. Yeah. So yeah, she said, no, you don't use rewardism, you don't use reinforcement. There's like extinguish them, and there's something else. Anyways, she knows all the terms. I don't.
Yeah, you faded and shit. You thinned the schedule and all that shit. Yeah, very technical shit. Yeah.
She knows it all. I mean, Jesus Christ, I hope she does.
Okay, so I mostly want to talk about this last thing, and then after we can just kind of shoot the shit or whatever, and then we'll just call it a day. But it's related to kind of double standards, men's issues, and women's viewpoint of that, and how all of this kind of ties into how it's totally killed on open and honest, nuanced dialogue. So we'll get to that in a second. But I'm gonna start here. Double standards exist for men and women. There are I would be a fucking liar and be very disingenuous to look at you guys be in the stream and be like, hey, there are tons of scenarios and places where it is advantageous to be a man. I would be a liar to do that. One thing that I say frequently, I've been voicing a lot frequently is like, cause I now that I'm so open, I'm so comfortable being very like brutally honest. Like I just ask questions for some reason, and one thing that I underestimated with women and guys is the level of safety they need to feel around you, because they're more fearful of certain things like SEX assault and stuff like that. For example, if like I said, I would say this: if I'm in the middle of if I'm just in the darkness at 3 a.m., I'm not worried about getting snatched, kidnapped, or someone putting something in my hole. I'm not worried about those things. I'm fine. That's not to say it can't happen, but I'm not fearful of those things. And they say privilege is invisible to those that have it. You know what I'm saying? And my issue is that it looks like with like men have their own set of problems and issues, from isolation to depression to feeling like we can't voice anything anymore. Like, a girl can come to me and list 36 reasons why a man should blah blah yada yada, and I could be like, I don't want a fat bitch, and I'm the worst person who's ever existed. I'm worse than Hitler. That's basically what happens, and I understand that.
Yep.
But I need you guys to really listen to this message. You are allowed to have standards. You're allowed to voice yourself openly, honestly. You don't have to be disrespectful about it. And I know that sometimes they try to use verbiage to try to kind of stymie what you're saying, but speak authentically and speak honestly if and when you can. And do not apologize for anything you are not sorry for. For example, if someone okay, for example, if someone tries to demonize you for saying, oh, like, you should date this girl, I'm like, no, she has a kid, and they try to guilt you and shame you into like playing stepdad, don't start to feel bad and feel sorry. If that is something you do not want to do, you are perfectly within your right. Do not fucking apologize, and do not start to be like, maybe I am. No, you're not an asshole. Okay, that you did not make that decision. They decide that whatever happened with her situation, that's on her, okay, or them, whatever, the father's around still. So you need to remember that. And double standards exist, okay. What it looks like to me, especially, is women are trying to fight for the right to just kind of optimize all sexual options and then get married. Unfortunately, what a lot of them don't understand is men and women don't think the same. The things that turn a woman on do not turn me on. You coming to me and telling me you have all this money and a college degree, I'm sleep. I'm trying to see the ass. What you got back there? Is it fat? Like, listen, we are not attracted to the same thing.
And also, just to add to that, individuality. What turns one woman on, or 100 women on, 101 might not like your technique anymore.
I'm going to get to that in a second, because this goes to what I talked about culture, biology, and psychology in a second. But I'm going to get to it in a sec, right? So you need to understand that. So, like, when they try to basically conflate what they find attractive in a man to you should be reciprocated to how you find fucking attractive in them, no. It doesn't work like that. And you're totally within your right to voice those things, okay? If we don't... Listen... If a girl wants to be my literal girlfriend and she can't cook, she doesn't cook or clean, it's not happening. I don't give a damn. Okay? I don't care how she feels about it. And I'm not apologizing for that. Because you know what, at the end of the day, you know what I am? Extremely tidy, and I can cook. So I'm holding up my end of the bargain. And this stuff kills honest dialogue, because now, remember I think I quote tweeted it was like, if you say you're trying to fuck, just say you're trying to fuck. I'm trying to fuck, and then she walks away. This is why we be lying. I actually still encourage honesty. Let them have the opportunity to walk away. But you would be surprised with that level of transparency how many times it'll work in your favor. They'll respect the fact that you're like, okay, how many girls you talking to? I always like give or take like one or four. And she might contemplate for a second and like, he's cute enough, it's fine. You be honest. Don't lie. Don't lie so often. Lying distorts your reality, man. Lying too much starts to fucking skew the way you view the world, and you don't even notice it sometimes. Like
don't let them use sex.
Yes, I lied to women so many times for so long it became like second nature to me. Like telling the truth was not what I did. I would lie 8 times before I tell one truth. You can't live like that. It's gonna fuck you up. Trust me. It's not good for your psyche long term. Don't live like that. So yeah. But anyways, what was I gonna say now? I had one more point about honesty, but I can't remember. You anyone want to chime in?
I was just gonna say, like, my boy, you know, he be out here in these streets, getting on Tinder, seeing these girls. They be birds because they on Tinder, but like one joint that he like got with. Her man was like in prison. Mm-hmm. So, like, you know, he's smashing and then he's telling me about it. He was like, man, it's no good women out here no more. And I was like, bro, what are you talking about? He was like, told me that he was smashing the girl and then her man is in prison and stuff like that. And then like, he was like, what does that have to me? I'm like, bro, you have to understand that when you have good women in your life, you're going to be able to tell which is a good woman and who is not. Like, I can normally tell within 1, maybe 2 conversations with a girl I meet where her headspace is at.
And we're really good at compartmentalizing that stuff too. But keep going.
Yeah, like, if I'm talking to a girl and she's talking about superficial things like reality, TV, celebrities, stuff like that, I'm thinking to myself, okay, if I say 1 or 2 things correctly, then maybe I can get a chance to smash it. And I'm not thinking anywhere past that.
Facts.
I'm not going to be talking to no girl that's all into horoscopes and stuff like that and thinking maybe I could make her my wife. What's wrong with you?
Yeah. That's just not real. This shit is fucking cooked. Talk about like, some bro, you're on rising, moon sign.
Talking about some, they free spirits, not looking for hookups. They're lying. They're not good women.
Just to be once again devil's advocate on this line of thinking. Not that my wife believes in any of that shit, so I'm free. But if let's say it was reality TV, using the first example, was a guilty pleasure. She didn't really. She just can't watch like a soap opera, right? Like trust me,
it's not
all
really,
our mothers watch soap operas.
I don't think Pat's saying that. Pat's basically saying it's the obsession with like celebrity culture and stuff like of that nature.
If that's her personality,
blah, 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 like no.
Yeah, if she's actually legitimately like if she's actually legitimately like I believe like I'm one of the women in Sex and the City, the TV series, then you've got a little bit of an issue there, and I can understand that. But I'm saying that maybe and I know you were just generalizing, Pat, but like at the end of the day, like some people can have guilty pleasures, but still be like, okay, like all right, and once in a while, like for example, my dad loves reading the horoscope just to see what bullshit is in the paper that week. He loves reading it just to go, oh, apparently I'm lucky today this month. Wow, wonderful, you know. So he'll read that. He goes, yeah, what's yours again? You know, blah blah blah. You know, so. Like there is like a sick pleasure, a guilty pleasure, whatever you want to call it, in doing stuff like that. But I think I understand what you're saying. You're talking about the woman that's hair, nails, clothes, shoes.
And Griever, what did I say earlier about I'm looking at behavioral patterns and habits. That's really the thing. It's not necessarily
what they do instead of what they say. Yeah,
it's not about their likes or dislikes. But it's about how they behave around them.
Exactly. How many times you would hear? Listen, you know, I heard a girl say, "I need a guy who's in touch with his feminine side, emotional,
bullshit."
You know what?
No, they don't want that.
Do you know I'm none of those things? Why are you with me? Nigga, I'm like 21. Like, I'm not shit. I just yell. I kick ball. I run fast. Like I don't.
You know what it is? They're really saying when they say shit like that. It's like, I want you to understand me, but be my rock. Like, don't fucking break down and shit. You know, it's like just understand what I'm going through and how to handle it. That's it.
Yeah, there's not a single woman who said, "I want a man who's in touch with the feminine side," that was ever there for their man when they broke down crying. Yep. That's a fact.
It's and I do understand that we have to be a little bit better at being more tender, in the sense that a lot of us were well, I'm gonna say our generation. I don't know what's happening with the younger generation. I find that a lot of them are a lot more effeminate, and like when they talk to me sometimes they're all very liberal and like progressive and like, you know, but like only if you're okay, like, okay, relax, man, like I'm not about to demonize you for like a general statement to that degree. Like, calm down over there. Like, for me, I came from the like mantra of no pain, no gain. Pain is just weakness.
Listen,
are you hurt or are you injured?
I came from the family of doing the Aragorn cry or the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan cry. You manly cried. You stood there. You stood face. When you cried, if you were at a funeral and you were sad that your nan died or your cousin died or whatever, you stood there, and if you were gonna cry, you fucking held your head high like a man and you fucking cried, or you shoved that shit down and you went into a dark, quiet place by yourself and you did that shit. There was two options. There's none of this none of this whole weeping. Oh, I'm so sad. You didn't make that bitchy ass face. No.
That's something my dad, when I used to train like in kickboxing shit, like very young, he goes, "Hey, if you're gonna cry because you know you got fucked up, like it hurts and shit, don't try to do it in front of other people, because then it just makes you look weak and soft and stuff. It's okay to do it, but do it like, you know, in your own space,
on your own time.
And also don't cry over like little shit too, right? It's like, don't cry out, you know, like, I don't know, your fucking Nintendo broke. Okay, who gives a shit? You should be crying over that.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna cry if my Nintendo breaks, nigga.
Yeah, exactly.
As a grown man, at least.
Listen, maybe I'm too old, but I believe that everybody in this call has. I don't care what age you were. Everybody here cried to a movie or a TV show.
I cried when the Going Merry fucking burned, nigga. Like,
fucking A, you did. Everybody did.
Yeah, but you know.
I cried to Pokemon the first movie.
I cried over
Pikachu
Wood.
Crying. I was in theaters, man. Pikachu was crying. I was a sad fucking kid. I'm just saying.
Man, you're right, Ryan. Exactly. I've cried over video game data getting corrupted, man.
Oh, I cried. You know what I cried?
My 60 hours.
You know what my wife was watching me do? She was watching. What's the one? Final Fantasy 15. Is that the one with the? Anyways. I was playing that on PS4. I was loving it. I was loving life. I put 100 hours into that, and then the end game happened, and I was like, "This is dark as fuck" and stuff. And then I got through it, and I was like, "I'm not happy. I'm not happy." And my wife's like, she was actually here. She's like, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "Just leave the room, please." She's like, well, "Why would I leave the room? I'm working on shit." I said, "Just leave the fucking room." She's like, What's going on with you?" I said, "I'm gonna bawl like a little schoolgirl right now. I put 100 hours into these people. Fuck off. Leave me alone." So, I mean, you know, like that's the thing. Women who say they want that don't want that, but real women actually do like to see that. They want to see their man. Like,
it's just more so like, you know, that's entertainment. But if we're talking about like a crisis happen, right?
Oh,
you
sure.
know, it's okay, how are you gonna handle that? If you just sit there crying instead of fucking, you know, scavenging through it and shit, it's like, bro, I can't trust you with my own life and shit, let alone we have children, you know, and shit. Like,
dependable in that sense.
Yeah.
Listen, if your dog dies, your wife should be there for you. Yes. As you should be there for your wife.
I was gonna touch on that. Like, don't be an unfeeling robot. That's not what you're supposed to be. That's why I said like we spend so much time. Like I'll get into like my generation. I would say at the very least, like spend so much time learning how to be strong, how to be tough, how to go after it. That we never learned how to be more tender and soft and malleable. You know, because you're taught to bend. You don't bend. You don't break. You're the rock in the current that never gets swayed by the waves or whatnot. You know, like you're taught to that. But when you're with somebody who really cares about you, to be the divine man, you have to master the both sides. If you ever read The Superior Man, I'm not gonna get into that, 'cause I think you should read it. It's a good book, but yeah. So we don't bend. You don't bring Treyway. He said Treyway. Good night.
But you should also be like, I'm not saying you should be like, for everything that you say you shouldn't be a rock, you also can be a rock. Yes. But it should be a choice. Like, for example, like when my wife's dog died, she was in Canada and she wasn't there at the time. Mm-hmm. She didn't know. It was very, very sudden. So she was very upset. We were at a bar and she tried to keep it together. She drank a little too much. She can't handle it like that. And she basically broke down. So I was hugging her on the floor of this bar filled with people while she was crying and stuff. And the owner came over. He's like, "Is it okay?" I said, "Listen, man, if you could just leave us alone. I don't want to move her, blah, blah, blah." And he went, "It's all good. It's all good as long as nobody's hurt," and blah, blah, blah. I said, "Yeah, her dog just died. She didn't know," blah, blah, blah. And the owner went, okay. Like, if you could get her up, like, soonish, that'd be great, but we'll leave you alone. I just wanted to make sure nobody was hurt. And I said, yeah. And she just bawled her eyes out for 15 minutes, and I was just there. Like she was down on the floor, and I was just there on the floor with her. So, like, it's sort of like, you got to sort of be there. Once again, I think we were talking like two-way street. So you got to be there when they're in pain or when you're in pain. It should be Yeah,
it's hard because like it's something that I struggle with. I honestly like East Vince and Simi could attest to it in Pat too. Is like, bro, I hate when I like somebody. I fucking hate emotion. The shit makes me. I think it's weak. I think it's soft. It makes me, and I start malfunctioning. I can't stand that shit. Okay, so I get it because I spend so much time being distrusting. And sometimes when I finally let that guard down, that's exactly when it happens again. I'm like, this is why I don't do this shit. So, but you have to. But you have
friend
to take,
me on Facebook. I get it now.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, that's why you have to learn how to master that stuff too. But yeah, the last thing I'm just gonna say is this. Look, with life, you have to be flexible. You have to understand not only the frailty in life, but the harsh realities while being guided by your morals and not blind to your own morals. Right, that's facts. That's well said. Yeah. So don't let the way that this world is going kill honesty for you. Be honest. Be as authentic as you can be. Live authentically is kind of like a motto that I have. And do not downplay the importance of working on yourself, but please don't turn it into self-worship and narcissism like a lot of women do. All right, don't do that. But a lot of guys do this shit too, like, I self-made from the bottom, beat my, like, you don't have to do all that. But definitely, if you are the best version of yourself, you're just gonna have the best available chances, opportunity to do a lot of things. And I guess I'll just add this into there too. Learn how to take rejection. It's an important thing you have to learn, man.
Yes.
You have to know how to take rejection. Don't air the place. What that nigga said, I'll air this bitch out. Don't air the place out. Don't do none of that, okay? Learn.
You go, okay.
There could be a myriad of reasons. She could be like, hey, you know what? Not into black guys. Totally okay. Don't have to. And nothing wrong with
you. Don't even know that much.
I'm just saying, you don't have to even know the reason. But I'm saying it doesn't have to be like, oh, like you just ain't shit. It could be something as simple as like, she's attracted to fucking Spanish men, like, like don't trip over those things.
You go up to someone and you say, hey, would you like to go out sometime? If they say no, they say no,
and there it is.
Right. The best way to do that mentally is you're the prize, not them. You are.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff like that, but like, yeah, definitely just value yourself. I think the problem with a lot of men, you just don't. The standards are too low, and they're too willing to deal with a lot of low quality options. And like Pat said, like, I think the most important lesson for me is like being able to be like, you know what, I do have women in my life who are extremely high quality. This is how it looks. That's how that looks over there. So I know how to compartmentalize them. Like, I could honestly walk in a room and psychology is scary because sometimes there's a lot of shit that I notice now that I can't even turn off. In terms of like from a body language standpoint too, but it's like being able to differentiate, like, yeah, this girl's talking a certain way, she's exuding a lot of what I would call energy that is man hate like. This is I put her in the bird category, friend zone, whatever the case is, But
booty call.
Yeah, exactly. There's that too because I'm a park guy. Dick in the walk in the park is all you getting from me. I'm even spending money on you, But then I'll meet a girl, I'm like, oh, you know what? And sometimes I recognize this. Be careful about this. The last thing I'll say. Sometimes the bar has been so low for you for so long that something very simple, like, oh wow, like she asked me how my day was. I understand that for a lot of us, women are really mean to us. They don't actually like that, but don't let that like something very minor, like she like holding the door, trick you into like thinking that they're like someone really 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 good. But high quality women are out there. I promise you, they exist. It's hard to find, but it's out there. Don't be all doomer and oh no, and they're all out to get me, and they're gonna betray. Like don't think like that. Trust me, it's not good for you. Just be the best version of yourself you can be and do your best. That's all you can really do and ask for. And you know what? Maybe you end up like Griever. All right, he's winning right now. Okay, I'm still street walking. Okay, so the curse of low standards. Yep. But it is with any final words?
Yeah, have some fucking respect for yourselves.
Woo!
Nigga talking about some I'm her ride. Not no more, my nigga. Go home. Work on yourself.
She got a double roller coaster top like she good. Sure, she got a ride, man. Now I kinda wanna find out the story within the team up, the boys. They're gonna yeah, I feel that. I'm gonna East. Is he still here?
He been gone.
Oh wow.
Wow.
I'm gonna do the thing he sent me to do. I'm gonna do it on stream just for fun. I'm gonna do it on stream. Then I'm gonna call it the stream. He literally sent me a BDSM test. What kind of sexual deviant are you? I'm gonna do it on stream. Just for fun. We'll end it on a fun note. The topic was a little heavy today, I guess, but that's life. Y'all be okay. You guys will be okay. Wait, that's not what I asked for. OBS, I'll beat the fuck out of you.
You're gonna meet someone one day that all of a sudden they're your fangirl, and you're gonna be like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, and like again, a common denominator that I still find with a lot of men and women who are speaking about like other
bad experiences.
Yeah, I'm like, you're talking about someone someone doesn't like you, or you're again, you think they like you like that, but they don't like you like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You gotta be careful of those things. The best relationship you should have is with yourself to a certain degree. Slashing styles? Oh no, someone gets in. I'm still trying to figure out why it won't even get. There you go. Finally, like why wouldn't you give me the? Yes, we're gonna. Oh brother, I hope this is not too wild. I'll post a link on Twitter after if anyone's supposed to do it or whatever.
Twitter.
On Twitterverse. Okay, welcome to the BDSM test. We'll begin by testing your kinkiness shortly. Would you like to keep track of your evolution over time with the free account? No, nigga, what the fuck? No. Evolution? What are you talking about? Evolution. I'm scared, bro.
Wow. What the fuck?
I'll start the test anonymously now. Yeah, let's do that. I pinky promise I'm not a robot. Gender, okay. Other. I'm joking. Male. Age category. I am 28.
By the way, in those spaces, it was like 3 weeks ago.
I forgot. Right? I forgot. Nah, I'm your senior. I forgot about that.
Yo, but right quick, with that heavily controllership, people were having spaces about it, right? Mm-hmm. You know, I entered one of them, and girls and guys were saying like, bro, guys just gotta ask like girls like if they're comfortable 24/7. And I go, no, you're not telling me that if I want to kiss a girl, I gotta ask her for it. It's like, no. Well, I'm not getting to that point where I'm gonna ask a girl, "Can we hold hands?" That's some soft ass shit, bro. Like, and that's not. They don't even like that shit. Like that. So why the fuck you gotta do it?
I like to be dominated, especially in the bedroom. Yeah, agree.
There's something about that though, because I asked one time. I said basically, so you're telling me if my wife wakes me up with let's just say certain acts. Technically, she didn't ask for consent. Did she rape me? I'm pretty sure I had the happiest morning of my life. It wasn't rape. so, like, yeah, you know what I mean? So, there's so much bullshit in that crap.
I prefer.
Yeah, I don't know, but in my head, I was just like,
don't mind like a little playful resistance. In the end, I'll win anyways. Yeah, fair enough.
I don't know. In my head, it's like, dude, you guys just have to be more socially aware and reading the room better. Not just, oh, I'm so uncomfortable, or she may be so uncomfortable. I'm going to ask her every single thing if she's okay.
No,
it's like,
no, like
Raver, I'm seeing how kinky I am, bro. I'm seeing how kinky I am. BDSM test. How kinky would I get in 5 years compared to now? It can't get any like more.
No,
like,
you're feeling physically overpowered is one of the most liberating sexual feelings.
Feeling physically, what?
No. What that basically means is, like, to me, it's not about being overpowered. It means, like, your woman jumps you, and it's like, oh fuck, we're doing this. Oh, I didn't have to ask. Fucking A.
Actually, you know what? I had a threesome. Not really. It was cool. I only did that again though.
I had a few threesomes, and honestly, I could take them or leave them. Realistically,
there's do that for me. I stepped away for 2 minutes.
especially if it were a thing where your girl allows you to like bang another chick at the same time, and you fuck that other girl more than her, you're gonna get a mouthful of it. It's like
no. See, here's the trick. I never had a threesome with anybody I was actually involved in. That's the trick. There's no hurt feelings of that.
No, yeah, of course, but there are people that go, "Oh, I get the threesome because the wife or the girl allowed it."
I had a girlfriend ask that once, and I said, "Fuck that."
I am willing to try anything once, even if I don't think I like it. Kinda.
No.
I mean,
physical restricting my partners.
You want
to? Yes, it's cool.
You want to push the boundaries.
I like sending nudes or sexual pictures to other people.
No.
Damn it! Now I have to fucking come on and admit it.
Literally, the chick I'm talking to is like, "Hey, do you like your salad eating?" And I'm like, "No, fuck."
Let's be realistic. No matter how good your dick looks, no dick looks as good as tits. I'm sorry. Women sending nudes is way different from dudes sending nudes.
Really, but I don't mind being spoiled a little bit. Nah, I'm gonna put it in the middle. I have a thing for large age differences in sexual encounters or relationships. Nah, bro.
Hey,
to be fair, I had 3. I was with 3 women that were over 20 years older than me. So yeah.
The oldest I remember, I think I was 24 and she was 36. I think that was the.
I was 22.
But I said I was older than I was. It said don't cap. I'm not capping, man. I'm being honest.
Hey, actually, that's a tip. If you're struggling with women as a young guy, bro, go hit up some cougars, bro.
Yeah, no shit. They love young dick.
When it comes to sexual acts,
I'll say
if it gets my pressure, no, I'm not like that.
I didn't like bang one, but bro, I attracted one so easily by just saying, "Oh, I see where your daughter gets the good looks from."
Hell.
Like,
oh Jesus!
Giving care, spoiling my partners, the ones who look at the doing this. I don't want to spoil nobody.
The first time I got married and went to a bar, I'm usually taking care of my mother because she gets too drunk. So we were going down to the bar, and fucking the first, of course, I'm there. I don't even want to be there. I'm drinking rum and cokes. I'm watching a fucking rerun of a football game, and some 45-year-old comes over, tilts my head, and sticks her tongue down my throat. I'm like,
oh shit!
What the fuck am I supposed to do about that? And everybody's still, to this day, the neighbors were there, and my mother was there, and they're like, "We're gonna tell your wife."
Good energy, bro.
And I was like, "Tell my wife. I didn't want it. That was sexual assault."
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I was sexually assaulted.
What? I'll often put up a fight in bed, but doesn't mean I want to win that fight. Oh, why am I fighting?
That's some submissive. That's some daddy baby girl bullshit. Fuck that.
No opinion. I find the romantic aspect in a relationship much more important than sexual kinky aspects.
That's a good question. I want to see what Nine's gonna say about this.
You know what it is? It's more important.
It is.
But is it more important to me, nigga? What's fat back there?
You gotta go a little in the green. Go a little in the green. No, there we go. All the way in the green.
I currently have a master or mistress in my life.
What? This is some BDSM shit.
I would like to serve in a formal setting with explicit slave training prescribed by physical. Bruh. No, I'm good.
Why does the fucking
pleasure and this highlighting thing I wouldn't do reach tag.
I don't know about any
can't be giving out my grade A S rank dick all the time.
Maybe this because I'm just a normal fucking dude, but like I don't want to come home and my wife go fucking hello master.
Hang me from the ceiling and fuck me diagonally. Like come on, I'm tired from work.
Diagonally.
Dang, y'all some vanilla ass niggas.
And my wife to
That's
say,
crazy.
"Hey, I scrubbed the potatoes."
Nah,
for
Simi,
dinner."
nah,
Oh, thank
Simi,
fuck, I don't
you're the
gotta
one who
do
didn't
that.
realize that, eh? It's your fault I realized that. I have a story for you guys after this.
I see the last one, y'all some vanilla ass bitches, and now all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, what you asking me? Like, get the fuck out of my face! And you went a whole 2 hours and 4 minutes about, yo, I'm a grown man. I got a wife. I got my own house. You know, did that, did that. You should, just live enthusiastically. Now all of a sudden it's, oh my god, what is this question you're asking me, man?
Nah, you being called out.
Oh no! He's absolutely right, because this year, you know how many things I've done for the first time, despite all the sexual partners I've had. I'm like, he's right. I am pretty vanilla. I'm like, it's crazy. Nah, but all I was gonna say is, like, listen, I'm a booty warrior. All right, booty. But
I will admit that.
Wait, I had a new experience.
Oh, okay. Let's hear about this.
I had a new experience. Y'all want to see on my Twitter real quick.
Your booty got ate.
Chill.
Listen, man. I had to go. You know where I'm at. I'm in Nova Scotia, Canada. There ain't no good ass here. So I went all the way to California to find a Latina. That's see. I knew what I was after.
There it is.
Ooh, let's see. Oh, I gotta read this shit.
Says, I told you big titty bitches are superior. I said, I'm definitely contemplating. I only care about this ass thing. Actually, a lot more where that came from. And then she talked about something else. Well, basically, like the mommy milk saga continues. Right?
Mommy milk.
Yo, she responded with goat.
Yeah. Right,
oh,
so
man.
This is like from not too long ago. Cause listen, I did the like prop the boob job, like her tits are big enough to like my dick gets lost in it, and I was like, this is different. I have to rethink my whole life.
Oh, dude,
nigga didn't get a pizzeria until age 28. Man,
for real though, for real. That's what I'm saying. Like this changed my world. I'm like, do I need both now? No, at the end of the day, I'm a booty warrior. My history will always tell you booty matters more. Booty more important than water. Booty more important than food. But
yeah,
water
really,
comes out of booty.
A
really
peanut
is.
butter
Really.
sandwich.
What?
So yeah, that's why you guys see that. But yeah, so that fucked me up, man. Y'all titties are ass, man. You know what I'm saying? What y'all booty warriors?
Yeah.
Hey man, I most definitely I'm most definitely a booty warrior with you, but both fire. I never was.
Yes,
Well, you
yes,
sir. Well, you know, nah, bro.
But Simi, what did I used to say though?
Don't disrespect the titties.
Do you remember what I used to say?
What did you
I used to say, yeah, both. But based on my history, my actions will tell you could be flatter than me. But if it's fat back there, I'm in there.
Listen.
Okay? Not the other way around, though.
Listen, what we're going to say is titties are awesome, ass is awesome, but at the end of the day, do you want to slap titties or you want to spank booty?
I want to drink booty, huh?
I need...
Well, I mean, yeah, that too.
I'm a lean towards the ass, but... Hey man, I want to see something up top. I don't want bee stings.
I want to join in the... No. If any couple ask me on some, hey, we're going to have to do something with you, no.
Oh, I did that once. That was a terrible idea.
I'm scared. Being physically restricted during sex with clothes ropes is arousing?
With clothes. I mean, women actually... It's
not for me.
Victoria's Secret
I had fun one time with
thing
that, but it's not really my thing. I'll put it like...
Yeah, but hold on. Before you answer that one, it says with clothes. Oh wait, it says restricted. Never mind. Yeah. I was thinking Victoria's Secret. I'm like, yeah. Well, if the wife dresses up in nice,
when you said 7 out of 10 booty, 10 out of 10. Titty nights in the chat. All right, I'm not mad at it. I'm just a booty warrior.
7 out of 10 booty? What the fuck? You haven't had booty. You had some white girl small titty ass. Fuck that shit.
Uh-oh. I enjoy feeling like a prey, hunted by a predator. That's just scary.
Listen, I will say one thing.
Oh my god! What does that mean? I'm in the mud.
This is gonna be the most controversial thing I say all night. But if a white woman's not fat, she don't got a booty like a black or a Latina.
Uh-oh.
Just gonna say that.
And
Sorry,
they kind of evolve a little bit, but
I've been with all three, and I'm telling you right now,
I don't have any sort of specific fetish fetish or non-standard sexual turn on? I don't even know. Let's see. Do I don't know, man.
Oh my
Being
god.
a part of a group of slaves that serves one master, that's just. I'm
my
already
God.
out. I
Yeah,
would like to
no,
become-
like
that's
that.
called a harem.
I enjoy being kept as a pet in a cage, eating out of a bowl, being petted correct. Is this not a Tokoaru, nigga? No.
Jesus Christ.
I love seeing the fear in my partner's eyes when I'm about to inflict pain on them.
Just scarier than.
Okay,
than
that
fucking
turns me
I've
on.
read.
Yeah, that fear, I get that. I like to be sexually degraded and humiliated by a partner. I'll sexually degrade you. I'll gladly leave everything behind, including moving across the globe, if I have to, for the BDSM life of my dreams, nigga. What is going on? He said, I'm gonna leave the country. Nah, bro. I enjoy playing a different age than I technically am. Nope, never done that before. I would like to be nothing but a 24-hour sex slave, not having any human interaction outside of sex. This is really for some freaky people. I'm not that freaky, man. I'm pretty vanilla. I'm gonna lie to y'all. Treating my partner with little to no self. Oh, no respect. I do it
thought
disrespectfully.
I was kinky until I read this shit.
Not only
Disrespectful.
Yeah, you make it like respectfully. Yeah. For me, I'm like, nah, I have malicious intents, nigga. I like to be forced in submission. I already just stop. Just stop already. I would like it. My partner is complete attachment. It's like, yeah, that's fun. I tie them up. No, it's not really my thing, but I'll put it like third green. I have plenty of sexual fantasies I like to try out more than my. Nah, I don't really have sexual fantasies. I'm boring. I find it adorable when my partner acts or dresses childlike when they engage in child activities. It's yeah, what coloring?
That's called pedophilia.
I'm literally scared. I could be sexually submissive now and be no, that's not really my. I'm not. That's called a switch, right? I'm not a switch. I'm not a switch.
Yeah.
I am willing to pay for porn if it really nope. If in an ideal relationship, my partner would see me as a mere object to them. I just when they're horny. No, I like.
Oh, I bought porn once on a dare. I bought a VHS tape that was worth $10, and I got $50. I got $50 to buy a $10, so I made $40. So yes, I paid for porn. Never watched it, but I did do it.
Making my partner suffer from my pleasure is one of the best things in life. All I got for you is throat abuse. What did Virgo say? I got throat abuse for you. Living with a group of slaves owned by me and serving me would be. It's not my ultimate goal of life, but that doesn't sound too bad. But I'm gonna put like no opinion. I don't.
That's some like harem from Tahiti shit.
Yeah, like I'm like really okay with one. Like I'm not that greedy. Like promise you, I'm okay.
Yeah, I just want one slave, not fucking 20.
Shit, that sounded bad. He's not wrong, right? Though. He's not wrong though. It's no big deal when things they try to turn out bad for me. It's part of their risk. Yeah. I'm okay with that. So I'll try. Like I mean, yeah, nothing heinous has happened to me, but yeah, I am currently in a long-term relationship. It's been like a decade. Yeah, no, I'm not. I have many of sexual fantasies which could, at the very least, be unethical to execute. No, I'm alright over there. This is illegal, East. I'm telling. Guard!
Oh, brother.
Nah, here's what you need to do. You need to get your ass out of Ontario, then you'll find some women.
I mean, they're here.
they're just not that great.
I would like to provide my partner with explicit slave training, instruct them in personal. I mean, that's cool.
This sounds like some satanic shit.
In questions like these, I tend to go for extreme answers than in the middle answers, I guess. I enjoy keeping my partner as a pet, providing them with the. I'm not putting anyone in the cage. Stop.
Why would you want to put somebody in a cage?
This is not puppy girl.
Listen,
from
I
what's
don't
the
like
girl's
it
name? Who's like a dog on OnlyFans? Like, no, I'm good off that.
Oh no! Listen, I don't like putting fucking real dogs in cages. I hate that shit. It's like if you're not good enough to I walk my dog around without a leash.
If I could not fulfill all of my parts of the urge, I would encourage them to see other people and fill in the gaps. No, suffer.
No.
Suffer with my shrimp meat. Fuck you talking about? Suffer. I ain't going nowhere. I'll go a long way to make my appearance match my partner's desires. No. The fuck?
This is way too fucking.
I often behave in Adam Smith's versus growling and howling.
Is this a kinky questionnaire or a cuck questionnaire?
Ow.
I mean, I can go 8, but I'm not like like that shit. Oh, your daddy. I don't be talking like that, so I don't know. I'm quiet, man. I'm aloof. I'm aloof and distant. I won't lie to you. In a relationship, I should have no hard limits. My life should belong to my partner, and they should decide what's good for me. Yeah, I'm good off that. If a part of my sexual desires are not fulfilled with my partners, I would want to see other people to fill the gaps. You said partner, not like boy, girlfriend, you know? So, yeah. You're not doing a good job? What Ashley won't do, Rebecca will. I enjoy feeling like a predator, hunting its prey. Yes, I like the hunt. I like when my partner takes on a nurturing and guiding, almost parental role. I don't want a fucking parent.
Listen, the predator hunting the prey is easy. You give her a piece of pizza and then you go for the kill. Very easy. She's distracted every time.
I'm gonna eat, man. I enjoy watching other people be naked or having sex. No. I like my partners to submit to me 24/7. I'm willing to take the responsibility that comes with it. I mean, I'll take the responsibility. I don't need that. I just need cooperation. I like my partner to be completely in charge.
I need cooperation. No. I don't want to rape a bitch.
Yeah, right. Like, come on. I could make some money from selling porn clips to myself.
I mean,
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
If I could make a bag, sure, I guess.
I would start an OnlyFans. I don't think my wife would mind.
My face can't be in it, and I'm not being in a place where I'm like, you know what, though? I am on someone's OnlyFans, technically, so I guess. But I'm not in my face. Being in fear of what my partner is going to do.
That's that in the background? What the fuck you doing? Eh? You think you just going to smooth up past that? You're not going to press you? You're really dumb. So what the fuck are you doing?
Said, hold it!
The fact that you're in the back of someone's OnlyFans and you're not going to reveal.
So now she's like, you want to record this? I'm like, alright. So I'm fucking her doggy style. You can't see me, but yeah, it's her crib though, so you don't know it's me. You can't tell it's me. But yeah,
we about to do some investigation, fellas.
The OnlyFans discussion is totally out the window now.
We about to go find out what 9 meat look like. We gonna do some investigation.
Yeah. Somebody do some Sherlock Holmes detective work here.
Y'all the dick detective. Y'all the schlong sleuth.
Well, I'm gonna need a magnifying glass to find it.
Y'all the cock cops.
The cock cops. I'm gonna need you to never say that one ever again.
I'll need a pair of binoculars,
Y'all the penis patrol,
some a microscope, but I'll find it. Now.
Compare the arms. You know what? My arms have a very specific fucking stretch mark on it. You'd be able to notice my arms. That's scary. I just thought about that.
So we gonna find you. We gonna find what me look like.
I have a pretty penis, by the way. Being in fear of what my partner is going to do physically arousing. Being in fear.
I just admit he has a pee-pee. Pretty penis.
I feel the need to serve my partner, treat them with the highest respect, addressing them as superior. I used to when I was younger. Now, I have no opinion on this. I'm totally cool with my partners having sex with other people. Yeah, that's fine. As long as we're not, together. Talking back. This is so long. Talking back to someone's dominant.
This shit is taking forever.
Okay, sure. Yeah, right. I'm ready to be done with this.
Prestige worldwide.
When it comes to sexual acts, my own discomfort is pretty much irrelevant if it allows me to give my partner more pleasure. I have sucked up some uncomfortable positions for I guess.
Kama Sutra was a horrible book to release to women.
I'm going to bed after you're done with this shit. All right. I don't need physical pleasure from sex. If my partner's enjoying it, it's all I need. I need to. What did he say? I need to get her a sweet, watery gut till I bust one off.
Listen, there's a difference between that question and getting off from getting your partner off. That's a different thing. But this is just weird. I didn't enjoy it at all, but I'm glad you had fun.
I don't. Do I enjoy verbally degrading my partner? I call you a little slow or at most.
Yeah. That's 10 out of 10 shit.
Sometimes watching people have sex is more fun than participating. I enjoy it when my partner plays or acts like a pet.
That's what Pornhub is for.
Yes, I like being completely in charge. The idea of being tortured sexually is appealing. I'm scared, bro. Having to do really disgusting things for my partner's pleasures. Yeah, I'm you know what I'm saying? I will be willing to leave everything I have behind to live the. I answered this already. I'm not leaving to live my BDSM life, bro. Like
you want to live some 50 Shades of Grey there, nah?
I'm good, man. What's his name? I'm good off him. She wasn't even bad either. I like inflicting pain during sex. BDSM, not really, but I can't differentiate pain and pleasure during the moment. It registers the same thing for me more often than not. I could not always be dominant or always be safe. I need both. I don't have an opinion. Nah, I'm good. I disagree. Do I agree with this?
Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to get the 50 Shades of Naya.
I like to dominate my partners. Yes. So
there's only 2 shades.
Oh, well,
ass.
I like the sexually creative human partner sometimes. I will naturally take on a nurturing and guiding, almost apprenticeship role in a relationship. I will not do that.
God damn it, total 89%. Fuck.
Right? I wanted to judge like 90, 91. The idea of torturing someone sexually is pleasing. I'm sure. If my partner would really enjoy using me as a urinal, we talking about water play? I'm out.
Oh, talking about water sports here.
Oh, that's what it's called. I like to submit to my partner. That's just that. My partner having multiple partners while I'm monogamous, except for threesomes with my partner involved, sounds like a perfectly acceptable situation. Wait, what? No. Why? Wait, they can do what they want, and I'm monogamous. Oh!
That's bullshit. Yeah,
you're a loser. You're a loser.
That's a hard no. That's a what do they call those cucks? But the
cucks. Yeah.
That's
that fucking bullshit. That
beta. I enjoy.
No, that's a beta mixed with a sigma mixed with a lot of things that ain't an alpha.
I'm Omicron male, baby. That should be so funny. I enjoy verbally degrading and being called humiliating. Or being hurt, not degraded. No, I'm good. I want to be more like. I want to meet more like-minded kinky people, and I'm willing to put effort into that. I am not. If a new awesome kink or BDSM launched, I would be up to date. No, I'm good. All right, so I'm boring. Let's see what I got. This type is optional. Feel free to skip it. Indicate for each archetype how well it suits you. Masochist. So what? Green is like I'm a very much masochist, and red is like not. I'm not a masochist. I'm not a pet. I don't know what daddy mommy means, so no.
Oh, a bad thing.
Rope bunnies like to be tied up. Oh wait, there's descriptions here. They kind of
no. Jesus Christ.
Non-monogamous.
Rope bunny. Oh God. Oh.
I don't know, man. Let's just keep
listen. I'm not like.
Rigor. I'm joking. All right, so let's see.
100% dominant. Oh, 86 vanilla. You called it.
Jesus Christ! Oh my God! I sleep.
Rigor, degrader, master, mistress, brat, tamer, primal, sadist, experimentalist, owner, exhibitionist, masochist, non-monogamous, voyeur, rope bunny, pet, slave, brat, primal, boy, girl, degradee, submissive, switch, daddy, mommy,
listen. The only thing that concerns me with that night is that I don't want to come over to your house one day and fucking all of a sudden you're like, here, come here, brat, and I'll be like, Jesus Christ, man. So don't tame a brat. Other than that, everything seems pretty.
That was interesting. East still blue.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. So, anyways, thank you guys for coming.
Yeah, Yami's not wrong. If I hear that, I'm running. Yeah. I'm gonna fly all the way to Toronto to say, "Hey, nah, I'm here. What's up, man?" And he's gonna be like, "Hello." Like, no, I'm out.
Oh shit, that was fun though. Good talk, guys. We ended it off where I'm not. I guess I don't know, man. I'm normal, dude. If I say normal, that's not to say this is abnormal, but I just get in the bedroom, I take the pee, I put it in the viscous innards, and I move on. Goodbye.